Greetings and welcome to another Sunday night hanging out with yours truly. And I always appreciate everybody who comes to hang out and talk Dollies. Chris from Cutthroat Comics was first, even though it didn't say first. I got to give him credit. He said first. A lot of rad people hanging out. And thank you all for being here. Backwoods, what's up, Chad? How's life going? Good. I hope your life's going good. I hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving for all my American friends and pals. Anyway, we're just gonna dive right into it. So tonight, I get to hang out with my brother, my bestie, Mr. Jay Bartlett, and he's right here.
Guys, thanks very much for tuning in to Friday Night Versus. Man, this is going to be a great show tonight.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Keep going.
Just kidding. Look at all the wonderful people in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. We got roles reversed. This is awesome. I like it. I've wanted to be on here forever. It kind of no, put it back. I'm the guest. I got to go over here. There you go.
No, you're not. Come on, you're not a guest.
You have so many great guests. You're the David Letterman of the toy community, so I feel honored that you wanted me on here. This is great.
Of course,
everybody.
Of course, I want you on, but you and I stream on Friday, and you stream like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so like you stream all the time. So I think it's rad that we could cross streams. Get it?
I get it. Yeah, we couldn't get Friday to work because Thanksgiving and all that. So we're gonna do that next week. But I'm glad we got to make it up tonight. This is awesome.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, American Thanksgiving and the fact that I don't see the ma'am very often right now. I wanted to spend some time with her. Yeah, I'm gonna get some sheets of paper and I'm gonna do that David Letterman thing. He just like stacks his paper on his desk.
Yeah, or get some like cue cards or something. Yeah, there's like actually nothing on them. You just like,
ooh, I got a bunch of 5x7 cards.
I would do it. So you have to back your camera up just a little bit so they can see the desk. Everyone in chat can see the desk. You can yep. So Falcon is the worst classified figure ever.
Yeah.
Then you have glass breaking sound.
Oh yeah, and then we'll have to do the glass shatter noise.
Yeah.
I am thinking about redoing my room.
Oh my goodness, dude! It took you so long to do it, set it up.
I'm out of dolly space, and I've been getting a lot of stuff lately because I like stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I got the gorgeous Aliens APC, right? And the one from Hiya Toys. I don't have anywhere to put it. I have nowhere to put this thing. And then I got this thing in the mail.
Wow.
Space.
That's cool.
You ready for this? Look at this.
Yeah. Oh my God, what's in that? You don't even know.
Vehicles, dioramas. No, it's all stuff that Sal from 2 Cents Toys sent me, and then I got that base too.
Nice.
I have
you could almost do like little table displays. I have that. Like I have Boulder Hill on a separate island table. How would you do it, man? Like how would you redo that? You have wall-to-wall shelves already.
Honestly, I think the flag is going to come up. I'm going to put it on
the wall.
No, see this bookcase?
Yep.
3 shelf. I'm going to put a bunch of 3 shelf book. Look, I'm crooked. No, I'm falling. I'm going to put a bunch of those 3 shelf bookcases around that, and I'm going to raise the flag up by a couple feet. Then I'll have some dolly space. I think I'm going to put if you saw my part 2 of my Joe Room tour where I have the soundproofing and the turntable, I think I'm going to put my desk in there. And I'm going to do that thing that a lot of people do where they have that like one corner behind them.
Look at this.
Raise the flag. Yeah.
My flag's against the wall, but it's like in our house we have wood floors, so it's just on like really cheap Home Depot fold out tables, but such as that
downstairs.
you can pull them out. So like if I need to get back in there and set up my dollies, I can do that, no problem.
World Made of Cardboard just said, "Did you say dollies?"
We love dollies. Everyone loves dollies.
We do. We love dollies very much. Cutthroat Comics sends a $20 super chat. Thanks.
Look at this guy.
Chris,
wow.
Thank you very much. Says it's so cool. The two best people that I admire so much.
Oh man.
It's very thoughtful. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Love you. It's nice
Thank
of
you
you.
very, very much. And then Backwood says dollies, as in blow up dolls. I wonder if I'm at the right show. Pendragon says, "Yeah, you're in the right place." Hey, Pendragon, how's things going with that lady, man? Let me know in the comments below.
What?
I may have hooked Pendragon up with a female.
Oh,
yeah.
You're the toy fixer upper guy now. I see you. I read you.
I mean, he's a good guy, you know, and
absolutely.
One of the mam's friends is single. Why not? Jay Wood says it's Chad's stupid pet tricks. Top 10 list, maybe? Oh, for the I'm like, wait, I don't do that.
Oh, you can do like top 10 reasons I collect G.I. Joe Classified. Number 10. There you go. Have your snare there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I could just play my snare.
Yeah.
A little fill.
And then hit the symbol and then throw the card. Man, one-man show, dude. That's what it's all about. The one-man show.
Yeah. Look at this. Got another super chat from Anthony Whitehead. $20. Thank you, my friend. Says
that's awesome.
Some money toward the Action Force headquarters fund. Thank you. It's greatly appreciated. I'm sure it's a funny, but you know, Jay, just like other YouTubers know, I just put the super chat stuff back into the channel, so which is cool. It's very nice. It's always appreciated. It's humbling, isn't it, when you get super chats? Like, I think it's great, but it's humbling.
Oh, dude, 100%. Every time I'm so grateful. Yeah, absolutely. So
I'm gonna get a new camera. I like this camera for streaming, but not for like produced videos.
Yeah, same with mine. I mean, I upgraded mine too, and it's just not good enough.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, we need to be clear, dude. We need to be able to see every little blemish on our skin. That's got to be 4K Blu-ray quality.
You got to be able to see like the 8 white hairs in my soul patch.
Oh, dude, look at this. Oh, good.
Oh, look, I just shaved. I mean,
are you all gray? Are you gray?
Oh, yeah, big. I have a huge. The man calls me skunk butt because, like, it's just gray. It's totally gray. JLS Comics, what's up, Jesse? It says, I love that APC. I love you, Jesse. He was on last week. That was awesome. Maybe he was on Wednesday. I get so confused. Oh, look at this, George Aiken. Oh, this is like a backhanded compliment. I was going to send you stuff, but you have no room. I've always got room. When it comes to George Aiken stuff. Yeah.
I would say, dude, let it sit for a little while. Maybe rearrange some things, but I wouldn't tear apart the structure of it. I don't know.
No, I'm not. If I did anything, it would just kind of like be this corner right here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, I need to work on it. And then Bear 11 Charlie, thanks for being here, brother. Said you're gonna need a house just for your dollies.
Dollhouse.
Dolly house. I need a dolly house.
The old dolly house.
Santa Brandon said, if they made that APC in 1/10 scale and RC, I'd reverse my vasectomy.
Oh my god.
And have another few kids just so they could all love 1/12 scale RC Aliens APC. Don't do it. Just don't.
Yeah, that time has passed, my friend. Time has passed.
Pendragon says the lady is very fab. I'm very pleased. Oh, okay, good. Look at
Well,
this.
that's good news. Good stuff, man.
I'm not going to sing it, but I can hear Mike Myers doing Barbra Streisand.
Oh yeah,
I can hear it. Yeah. Oh, George Aikens says they're edible. I guess British chocolate. Gotta love it. Absorb Viz here and says good evening. Good evening. Glad to see
evening,
you.
my friend.
Big Bacon says big bacon. My flag is in a store in Missouri. By displaying it there.
That's funny, dude. I like that.
I have so much more room. Yeah. And then TJC says, "What's a super chat?"
Listen, buddy, you'll find out soon enough. Believe me.
Don't be that guy.
You'll find out soon enough.
M Vargo, what's up, M Vargo? We're still gonna hang out, yeah. Better. Look at this. Willie Lowe says 8K Chad and Jay or nothing.
Yeah, man. I mean, like now I really want to get a new camera. I don't know, man. I used to think that stuff didn't matter, but when I was doing or I should say when I do my toy videos, I still use this, dude. My 13 Pro. I bought this or upgraded this phone specifically for the camera. Dude, the 15's out now. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have a
you're like the best for like 2 seconds, and then it's like outdated, get something new.
Yeah, I have the 14 Pro Max. Look, we're like ambassadors for iPhones. Like, hey, become a YouTuber, get an iPhone. Yeah.
Did you see like
the
commercial for the 15? Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally just this. It's like, ooh, sleek, and it shows that, but it doesn't tell you what it does. It's just like it's made of titanium.
Nobody cares.
Who cares?
The same crap. It's the same crap.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you see that 9th version of Snake Eyes, it's just like,
you want to add another $100 to your phone bill? Get the 15. I'm good.
No.
Thank you, though.
No. Do you want to add another?
No.
No, absolutely not. Oh, that's right. I was thinking Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. That's right. When they were first doing him up and he was wearing the That's right. Gotta love Matt Rubin. He always comes in and he's like, actually.
Matt's the best. 100%.
Mr. James Lucas says, hey, 2 of my favorite guys.
Look at this guy.
Well, there's one of my favorite guys. So awesome. Very cool. Speaking of favorite people, Destro's Desk says, good evening to us and the awesome people in the chat. The chat is definitely what makes it fun. And then Will R says, the adventures of Skunk Butt and Swamp Ass.
You know what? Will, I will tell you, he's the skunk. I'm definitely Swamp Ass. Here's TMI for your friendly neighborhood Jay. Every single time I am done a stream, I have to take a shower because the midsection is soaked. It's
the chairs. It's the chairs.
Are you like that too?
Oh yeah, it's
like the lower back, sure, but it's like everything. It's like, and I can't just. There you go, Lisa said. Thank you very much. You can't just like go downstairs and sit in wet, sweaty clothes, right? So it's like all the streams. I mean, it's not really a problem. I just you have it too, so that's great. I was always wondering, like, why am I so sweaty all the time, man?
It's the leather, you know, or whatever. It's that fine Corinthian leather, baby. Yeah. It's something like that.
All right, well, that's fair.
Will also said that the iPhone 15 is self-aware and will make you breakfasts. Individual results may vary. So,
yeah, I think this time around, I used to be the iPhone. Like I used to be an iPhone enthusiast. I would get one as much as I could. But now I think it's just like, you know what? When this one ceases to function, then I'll get one kind of deal.
The ma'am has a theory that every time they put out a new phone, an update comes out, right?
100%. Yep.
But if you notice, when that update comes out, if the 15 comes out and you're still on, say, a 13 and your 13 starts acting like shit, you know, you can see the ma'am's always like, as soon as they put out that update, when the new phone comes out, the old phones start acting up because they want you to go get that new phone.
You know what? I used to scoff at stuff like that, and I'm not a conspiracy guy at all. Okay, so I would hear stuff like that, and like nobody's trying to do that, but I do believe that now. I do believe there's something in there that maybe makes it a little bit less effective. I
Yeah.
don't know. But who knows? Who knows?
Then James Lucas says, "Look under your chair. It's an outdated iPhone." Thank you, Oprah. Oprah Lucas. Yeah, Robert's Infinite Realms. I'm still rocking an iPhone 11.
Hey, Robert, you keep it up, buddy. You keep it up. I only got the 13 for the camera for my toy dolly videos, and now I'm outdated by 2 years. Can you even believe it?
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm like, oh, I have that cinema mode where everything looks all cool and like
Yeah.
professional, and then I'll do my lighting like this, and I go to film something, and it's like too dark, needs more light or something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do it.
Negates everything.
I will say this though, the ma'am and I were in Best Buy the other night. Black Friday? Yeah, Black Friday. Oh, dude, I have the worst Black Friday story. And I'll share it with everybody. But we went to Best Buy, and she's looking at a new Apple Watch because she has an older watch that doesn't talk to her iPhone 14. Because again, conspiracy, right? And so I bought her the watch for Christmas, and then that's like Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction. He gave me the watch, so I bought her the watch, and we were looking at the flip phones, like the jitterbug flip phones, and
there's flip phones still.
Oh yeah, for like the old people, and I was like, I would totally rock one of these flip phones. To be like, hello, and yeah, I also looked for a good new high def camera with the screen that flips over.
Do you remember, dude? The coolest phone in the day was like 1999 during the Matrix when Morpheus had that phone that would slide down.
Yeah.
It was like almost like a switchblade. I'm like, oh my god, the future is now.
They also had that badass suicide door Lincoln. That was a nice car.
Yeah, some things, I wish we had, other things not, like the payphones in Matrix.
Yeah, the chairs. Let's go with that. Yeah, we're gonna go with it's the chairs.
Well, I don't understand why like the midsection would get sweaty and nothing else. I mean, it's very hot in this room here, but it's like after every stream, it's like, oh my god.
How is it that hot in that room? It's winter. It's Canada.
Well, because it's so cold, dude, we gotta have the heat up, right? And this is on the second floor of the house.
Yeah, heat rises. Sure.
So it rises, yeah. And plus, because we have 2 Jack Russells, they're always into everything. So I can't allow them up here. So I have to shut the door so it seals in everything. And you can't see it, right under this desk here is a heater blowing straight up.
So it really seals in the freshness.
Real seals in right around that area. Now I know why. I just answered my own question. Why I'm sweaty in the crotch area.
That really seals in the flavor.
When I get stressed, my crotch sweats. I can't help it. I don't know, man.
Hey, did you guys see Chad and Jay on Sunday night? They were talking about Swamp Ass for like 40 minutes.
Do Jay and Chad ever talk about toys anymore? It's hot sauce, then it's about sweaty crotches, then it's about iPhones.
Well, but you don't collect toys anymore, and I'm a hater. So
yeah, so I've been told.
Yeah. So we both have been told. Jesse says you can call in an airstrike with an iPhone 15.
Oh my god, I believe it. I believe it.
I'm trading up. Start calling in airstrikes. Dale Sanford's here. What's up, dude? Good to see you.
Lisa's making fun of us. Lots of hot air up there.
That's terrible.
I've been known to yell a time or two when I'm streaming.
Pendragon says, Jay, after every stream, the midsection is soaked.
It's the new quote.
Look at that. Billy Go Boom. I'll give Billy and Robert credit. Billy still got an iPhone 10. Good for you, man. Good job. Proud of you.
Keep it going, dude. Why not?
V Conley, what's up, brother? I don't know if you can see the thumbnail, but that's his that's the head that he had scanned from Mark II Designs. Looks just like
wow.
Every update when a new phone comes out, they phase out updates for older iPhones.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I never wanted to believe that, but it totally is, because there's no reason why especially an Apple product, would be starting to run slow so quickly. But you know what? They have every right to do whatever they want. We keep buying them, so whatever.
So Pendragon is commenting on my Black Friday story, and he said it is the worst Black Friday story. Spoiler. Billy Go Boone misses his Motorola Razr. Dude, do you remember that what was it? The T-Mobile Sidekick with the little
no.
You don't remember the Sidekick? Who in the chat remembers the friggin' Sidekick? Dude, that thing was so rad. It had buttons, and like back in the day, it almost looked like a PS Vita, and it had a screen, and you like hit the side of the screen, and the screen did this thing where it like flipped up, and then you had a keyboard underneath, and then they redesigned it later where you slid it up. But it was cool when you flipped it, because you'd be all Billy Badass. You pull out your phone and go, whoosh, and the screen would flip, and you had a full QWERTY keyboard.
Dude, I was like dragged to a cell phone kicking and screaming. I didn't get one, I think, till 2005. It was a flip, and I didn't want one, man. Everyone was getting them. I'm like, you know what? If I'm not home, I'm not home. And I really liked it. And then I got a BlackBerry. And listen to this story. I got a BlackBerry, and I could put.
What are you, a stock trader?
Dude, listen to this. This was 2010. I got a BlackBerry, and I could put "Welcome to the Jungle" as my ringtone.
Yep.
And it was actually the song. It wasn't like a MIDI file or anything. It was the actual song. I'm like, oh my God. And then my buddy comes in with his phone like this, playing a zombie game on his iPhone 3. And I'm like, oh my God.
Took that BlackBerry and you're like, downtown. Just threw it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I can play Welcome to the Jungle on mine. He's like, yeah, it's great. I'm playing like PS3 games on mine. I'm like, oh shoot.
I was in a like a sync meeting, right? So there's like the colonels there and the sergeant majors there, and all like the company commanders and the first sergeants and all like the training staff people are there. And this is why I never have the ringer on my phone. I have never heard my phone ring in years. So I'm sitting in this meeting. This is when I still had an Android, and you could, make a custom sound clip for any and everything. And I got a text message, and my text message alert tone at the time was Lord Helmet, Spaceballs, where he drops the helmet, goes, "Keep firing, assholes." And it was like super loud. And I just went, that was me. And I just,
oh, that's absolutely friggin' amazing. And what a time. You're like, face was probably all red, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, because I think at the time I was like an E6, and so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna, and now at my rank, I'm like, you get over.
I don't give a lips.
Like, shut up, turn around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo's here. What's up, Mo?
Mo.
Yeah.
So many wonderful people tonight. We appreciate it. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, the Lincoln is not Marion Cobretti's car. That is true. Dale says, I want that really small phone from Saturday Night Live with Will Ferrell. Saturday Night Live. The Derek Zoolander?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Matilda. Yeah. I think he means Zoolander. Cool. All right. So my story. Yojo Jerk says, I'm never streaming again. B. Rivera's like, what the did I walk into? We're just BSing. We're just
talking
shooting.
old Matrix style phones.
Yeah. We're talking all sorts of stuff. Aliens, APCs, how Jay gets he gets swamp ass from streaming.
Swamp crotch. The whole midsection is wet. Ew. Brutal. Disgusting blob.
It's fun. It's fun to just BS, and just have a good time.
Absolutely.
Larry, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Destro's Desk says, Jay, you need to install a couple fans under that desk so you have some nice cool air hitting your midsection. Yep.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, see, look, V. Conley says sidekicks are awesome. Man, I wish I could get a sidekick still. Yeah. See, look at everybody.
I don't
Everybody's on that sidekick train.
I do like way down there, I like Destro's comment way at the bottom where it says I prefer Zach Morris's phone. I would love to get One
That's
of
Saved
those
by the Bell?
old first cell phones from Saved by the
Oh,
Bell.
dude.
One of those, or like the car phone, like Jerry had in Seinfeld, right? Where it was like the case, and you plugged it in. Oh my god, carrying around that case.
Or the car phone where you
Let's
had
do
like
it.
that
Let's do it,
box and
man.
the
Hipster
jack.
style. And then just be walking with the iPhone like this, like watching a video. So great.
Killa Mogwai, what's up, dude? Says, what's up, y'all? Found Jay from Nintendo Quest when I backed it years ago. You know what's funny? We might chat about that here in a second. Let me tell you guys my horrible friggin' Black Friday story, and then we'll get into that.
All righty.
And then Pendragon says, Chad, at my rank, just shrug at incendiary and obstinance. Oh, indecency, yeah. Could have been.
Everyone's asking about your Black Friday story.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it right now.
It's called a build up, ladies and gentlemen. Now here comes the delivery. Knock your socks off.
We're talking with the chat. It's the thing over here in Chadland. Okay, people will leave comments with a timestamp to see how long it takes me to read the comment, because generally it's about a half hour, and the first one who usually does it is Big Bacon. Yeah. Okay. Someone send Jay a swamp skier. Yes, you can.
We all know the best Zartan is 93 Zartan.
Ooh, what about this one? How about the shoe phone from Get Smart?
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm done. What about Best Buy? Okay, it wasn't about Best Buy. So the ma'am and I, now that I am caught up on the chat, the ma'am and I, we went to the mall,
right?
Because she needed to get new compression shirts for under her uniform. Okie doke. So we go to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh my god!
What?
I don't know. Just the name.
That's what she said.
Good setup.
So we go to Dick's Sporting Goods. We get the compression shirts. There was one of those Brazilian grill, the place where you go and they have like the meat on the thing and they come around to the tables. You guys probably don't have those in Canada, but anyway, they're pretty fun.
Sure.
And so we go in there and we sit down to eat. You went to Dick's to compress boobs. Yep. Look at this. Look. I told you he would. 1306, my ass. It's not 1 o'clock, fool. So, I need to get Jay and TJC's Xbox tags so the four of us, Chad, can play Aliens or any other game. Yeah, we'll get those to you. Terry, throw your Xbox gamer tag in the chat so everybody can add you and you have like weird stalkers. So we're at this little Brazilian grill place and we're eating dinner and it's right outside of the mall. And we're just chilling. It's really nice. There's not a lot of people in there. We're hanging out, we're eating, right. We're having a good time, just me and the wife. And then we start seeing all these people running out of the mall.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like kind of looking over. And then it's more people streaming out of the mall. So then by this time I turn my chair and we're just watching. And I kind of look over at the ma'am and she's like, they're evacuating the mall. And I'm like, yep.
Oh, no.
And so like the staff comes out of the back and the manager's like, lock the door. And I was like, oh, and then I looked at the man and I was like, active shooter. Yeah. So at first it was, just a mass of people running out and, we're like, oh yeah, they're evacuating the mall. And her and I were just observing, right? We're still eating. Wow. And then the manager comes out. He's like, lock the door. And, and the person at the front counter goes out and locks all the doors.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, okay, so this is an active shooter thing. So then the ma'am and I get out our phones. There's no service. And she was like, they killed everything.
Wow.
So we're hanging out, there's only like 4 or 5 other tables in this whole place. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. It's after lunch. It's just kind of whatever. Black Friday. Everybody's, they're fist fighting for TVs and PS.
Yeah.
They're not eating at a Brazilian grill. So we're hanging out, we're watching all this, and then like we see a couple cops come, we see a couple more cops, we see the SWAT guys show up. The
Holy
dudes who
cow.
are completely off duty because you got like a dude in a white t-shirt with his body armor and his M4, and he's like flying into the mall, and we're like, ugh,
Whoa.
here we go. So then the manager's like, telling all the employees, like, just stay away from the doors. Everything will be okay. Just stay away from the doors. And like, we're just sitting there eating. We're just eating and we're just like watching the door.
You guys
And
like,
at one
nah.
point I got up and I went over to the front doors and I'm like looking around. The manager's like, oh, like, and he's kind of freaking out. He's like, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? And I'm like, well, she does this for a living and I do this for a living. Like, we're totally fine. We're good. Thank you very much. And you just go back and we just sitting down and we're eating our food and like the meat guys over there. And I'm like, hey man, like, we're good to go. Like, if you just want to serve us more food.
We have seconds. Is that a thing? Or?
Oh yeah. So he just keeps bringing us meat on those things. Like, and we're just eating and watching, and like over 100 officers responded to this. State police, sheriff's department, APD. Wow. Yeah, they had everybody. The TAC team showed up. The ERT showed up. The SWAT team showed up. You can hear the helicopters overhead, and I'm just sitting there eating. Just eating the whole time.
Well, I mean, you guys are used to being in much worse, much more stressful situations, and you could probably read the room pretty well. So
yeah, and the funny thing is, when we got service back, the man was talking to her friend, the one that I hooked Pendragon up with. Her name's Melissa, and Mandy's like, oh, Melissa was in the mall too. Like, I wonder if she got out okay. And I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess like, let me know, And then because of the nature of what she does, like she has to tell people like, hey, like I'm in the mall, like I'm locked in, the Brazilian grill.
Yep.
On the east side of the mall and blah, blah, blah. And like her, her superiors are like, okay, gotcha. Like, as long as you're safe. And she's like, yeah, we're good. We're just eating. Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
We're just hanging out, I'm just eating.
What are the odds of that?
Cheeses and meats and pickles and shit. We're just hanging out. And the funny thing is, the ma'am accidentally, the staff's trying to do this and they're trying to get everybody out. And she just kind of signed the receipt and we left and we got home and she's like, opens her wallet. She's like, oh shit, where's my Chase card? And I'm like, you tell me.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I haven't used it since the Brazilian place. And I'm like, did you get it out of the little billfold? She's like, I don't think I did. And I was like, you know what? I'll go back. Went back. Obviously, they had cleared the whole mall out. So they had signs like, due to unforeseen circumstances,
right?
Unforeseen, right?
Right.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll reopen tomorrow. And I'm like, cool, I'll just go back in the morning, right? They open at 11. So I walked in there and like the manager's there and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I don't know if you remember this from yesterday. And he's like, oh yeah. I remember you guys. And he was like, I just wanted to say we were all very thankful that you guys were so calm because it actually helped some of my employees stay calm. And I was like, oh,
that's great.
Really appreciate that. That's nice to hear. And he's like, so, thank you very much for that. And I'm like, well, thank you guys for your hospitality. We were just enjoying a nice meal with some cool people, like captive audience kind of thing. And I was like, oh, by the way, my wife left her credit card here. And he's like, yeah, let me go get it. And he just goes back and he brings it out. He's like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And, go figure that these people come out on Black Friday where there's more people. Like, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah. So
that's a crazy story. Yeah. Wow.
Some chump ass kid. And then, the next day they had a picture of him in the newspaper and he was just like he looked like 16, big old frizzy hairdo. He was in like a t-shirt and sweats and like they had a closed camera of him like pulling the weapon out of his belt.
Wow.
His waistband. But yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Wow. Well,
and the cops lost him.
Oh,
terrible. Yeah.
Well, if they got his photo, he'll be caught soon.
Yeah, I would hope so. And then Pendragon said that shooter kid was 9 years old, bruh. He looked it. Yeah, he was an early teen.
Wow.
Insane. Brandon, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. And says, question: do you and the ma'am usually carry in public? Yes, I do. The ma'am, it's kind of up in the air with the ma'am because I'm not really going to get into like certain specifics, but if she does, then she's kind of required to act and so on
To
and so
help out in situations like that, right? So yeah,
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Ginny's here. What's up, Ginny
Well,
Bartlett?
hello, Ginny. Where have you been, man?
Right there. There's and then V Conley's like Brazilian steakhouses are the shit. Yeah, maybe not when there's an active shooter. They kind of slowed down on the meat, if you know what I mean. Like they were all freaking out, and I'm
They're
like,
still trying to act
bring me
normal.
food.
Yeah.
The doors are locked. I want food. Dale Centerford, is it something like the Greek place where they put it on a stick? Kind of, yeah. Like so they cook it on skewers and they bring it around to tables and they slice it off and you have like a little thing. It's like green on one side and red on the other. And as long as it's green, they'll keep bringing you more food. It's kind of like that. Masterson said something funny. Let me go back because people are laughing. Masterson, thank you very much, sir. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Very kind, very
And
kind.
says, see, that is why. That see, that is white people stuff. As a black man, yes, you are. If I see people running, I'm running. I will find out later why we were running. It's like Masterson, did you ever see scary movies like white people are dead? We're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in the restaurant. They locked the doors and told us to shelter in place. So we just sat there and ate. You know, I didn't feel in any danger. And
Well, I mean, if you have, a firearm with you, that's great security. Plus, you know what you're doing. I don't know, man. It just, I mean, you guys, like, that's what you're trained for, right? So for you, it was like, oh, this is like just a Tuesday, right? To everyone else,
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, what is it? Friday. On the clock. But it's just kind of one of those things like I wasn't worried about me and I wasn't worried about the ma'am, right? Especially the two of us. Like, I mean, we're Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
I was worried for some of the staff because you could see some of them were starting to cry, like they were getting a little worked up, and I'm like you're safe. You're inside a locked, building, and all the police are streaming in from this door. Like, they need to be more worried at the other end of the mall. But I understand. It's like some people can't handle those situations. So
I think the this is just my thoughts on stuff like that. I think 2020, this isn't even a joke either. I think it broke so many people's brains, and I think so many people couldn't comprehend the gravity of what was happening. And I still think that's rippling through today, man. It's really damaged a lot of people. Maybe that was the case with this kid. I don't know, but I just know that people are pretty messed up still from it, man.
I think that the ma'am, myself, and everyone that we deployed with kind of lucked out because we weren't here for like the whole everyone's fighting for toilet paper and like just the hysteria that was involved. We had nothing to do with that. We were putting in work over in Africa. Brandon R said, I'm shopping with Chad and the ma'am in the States from here on out. Active what? No worries here. I mean, it was a different situation. It's not like we were exposed in the middle of the mall and hear shots and I'm like, this is cool, and just like sit down,
Right.
It wasn't like that. Ted, good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. All right, so yeah, Big Bacon says fear can often override reason. That's true. Yeah. And then I noticed Chad and Destro have the same haircut.
It's good look. It's good look. I couldn't picture you with hair, man. If you did have hair, I would say you'd have a mohawk. That's just what I'm guessing. You'd have like a total mohawk. I don't think it'd be like a big, long, spiky one, but I think you'd have a mohawk.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have hair, and then one day I stopped having hair. George Aiken says, I'm avoiding the States. I'm safer in Glasgow. Yeah, maybe, probably. Palpatine, Lord Palpatine, do it. Says it's sad. I don't get there are kids who even men. Oh, kids are even men who want to hurt innocent people. What do they get out of it? They know it's game over for them eventually. Yeah, it's stupid.
Well, a lot of those end up in fatalities. Most of the shooters end up in fatalities. So they're at the end of their life and they know it. And they just want to take as many people with them as they can. And it's disgusting. But they don't, I don't think they go into those situations expecting that they're going to get away with it and live with it, right? No, they're going in and they're not coming out. It's completely sad.
Yeah, I mean all of it sucks. So moral of that story is I hope you all had an awesome Thanksgiving and nobody had to deal with any dumb stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jay, my
Dude,
friend, let's chat about some stuff.
let's go back in time.
Bum, 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 gotta get
Back in time.
Bum, 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 ba-da. So Nintendo Quest. You and I have been friends for a while. There's a lot of people hanging out with us today, and I'm sure at least a couple don't know about all of the ridiculous stuff that you and our good friend Papa Macaloo, aka Mick Zob, aka Rob McCallum, Meldo's keeper. The stuff that you guys have done. So
yeah.
talk to us briefly about Nintendo Quest. Like, when did the idea come up? Whose idea was it? Like, just share with us about Nintendo Quest.
Yeah, so I remember jamming with my band and getting a text message from Rob saying, can I call you for a sec?" And we're just on a break. So I went outside and took the call and he's like, "I'm thinking about doing a documentary on collectors. I want to follow 3 collectors around and video, sorry, not video them, record them, shoot them, doing their roots. So I want you to be one of the collectors and I want to follow you going to pick up your toys, picking up your video games for the week, whatever you're doing." And
Dolly Quest.
I'm like, "Sure, dude, whatever." And then it just kind of changed. We really couldn't find another collector that I think was, I don't want to say interesting. It didn't seem to work out. So we kind of just eliminated the 3. And then it became just me. And then we just focused on Nintendo because we're talking about video games. And it was, wow, if you could have every game from any console that ever existed, what would it be? He said that out loud. And we both said Nintendo. Like, it was like a reflex. So then it became, okay, well, do you think we should try this? Yes. Okay, well, you got to have stakes. So Rob's like, what about like a month? And I had to think about it for a few days.
Yeah.
I accepted it, and the rest is history. Then we started shooting that in 2013, 10 years ago. Holy God. Yeah, dude, 10 years ago.
The thing that I liked most about Nintendo Quest, and I didn't see Nintendo Quest not until after I knew you, but it was Action Figure Adventure that brought me kind of backwards to Nintendo Quest.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So the thing that I appreciated when I watched Nintendo Quest, and now when I watch like Rob does those longer uncut segments, the real Nintendo Quest on his YouTube channel, where it expands on some of the scenes and things like that. But you failed at your quest.
Yeah, ultimately. Yeah, I think it was 26 short. So for me, the focus of everything changed. So we came up with our list, which was 678 games that I had to get.
Right.
We were just going for licensed games. We weren't going for bootleg carts or any of that stuff.
Yeah, not the World Championship games or anything.
Not the Nintendo World Championships, but Stadium Events was in there, which was the rarest game.
Yep.
Bonk's Adventure, stuff like Little Samson.
Yeah.
Once I started down this path, I realized quickly that Stadium Events was going to be an issue. But to me, after I had kind of a line on it where in the film I talked to a collector named Todd. And he said he has 2 copies and he might get rid of one. So I kind of knew that I was going to finish it. So the 30 days for me didn't matter. What mattered was that I was going to finish it. Like I had to finish it. So ultimately, even before we started shooting, I'm like, okay, if I don't do it in the 30 days, I have to finish it. I can't just have 26 short and that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the big, huge commitment.
I still think it's a great way to end that documentary where you knew that you failed the quest, and there's like the sad 8-bit music and all that stuff, and then it ends with you going back to Todd's house and getting it and then taking it home.
Yeah. I asked Todd because he had 2, and I said, Todd, would you ever consider selling one? And he's like, if I do, I'll let you know. So I reached out to him, I think in February, and he said, yep, I'll let it go. So then we shot, and I knew then, that I felt great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate
that. That guy seemed like super cool. And, just what he says in the documentary, whereas when he was like, I knew as soon as I got 2 that one was going to probably get sold, and I was just waiting, for the right person. And, that was you, or however he worded it. Yeah.
It was great. There was a couple of times we saw it. There was a collector before we even started shooting. We shot at a video game convention. It was like a pop culture convention. Yep. And one of the vendors had it there before we even started shooting. And he said to us, it's not for sale, but if you're really, really stuck, let me know and we might be able to work something out. I didn't have to go that far.
Yeah.
But we saw it before we even started shooting. So that to me gave me that lift, right? Because only 200 of them sold. That was it.
Yeah. Jay Wood says Ramen Toys has to make a Nintendo Quest van. Well, with the ramen bread van, we could probably make a custom.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Custom Nintendo Quest van?
I miss that van. It's great. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Watching it, you and I have been friends for a while. And watching Nintendo Quest, to me, it kind of felt like that movie Brewster's Millions. If you know what I'm talking about? With Richard Pryor, right? Where he has to spend all that money and he's like, yeah, I'm rich. And he's like, I'm going to teach you the value of money and I'm going to make you spend so much money that you never want to see money again.
Right.
Was Nintendo Quest, did it ever feel like that where you're just like, it's so many games and I'm just like buying?
Well, it's my money that I saved. And I started to feel sick, and you see it when we go into Texas. And I come out of whatever store it was, and I paid 25 American for Donkey Kong. I'm telling Rob, and Jordan was there too. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I'm starting to feel sick because it's a lot of money to put out there, right? And for Nintendo Quest, we didn't have any charity. This was just for me, for my personal goal. So it was like, yeah, I'm gonna get all these games, sure, but it's like it was a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. Justin Frederick is asking, where can you watch this?
Justin, thanks for asking. You should be able to watch it on Tubi.
Yep,
it should be on there, as well as Rob McCallum's YouTube page, who's the writer-director.
And it's on Amazon Prime too.
It's on Amazon Prime. Hey, look at this guy. Thank you.
Yeah. So Matt Rubin says, I just bought it on Amazon Prime. Yeah. So you can watch it on Tubi for sure. Amazon Prime. Rob McCallum's got it all on his YouTube page as well. Just like old Bardo just said.
Oh no, I know Brewster's Millions. Yeah. I know that one, Jenny. It's been a long time since I've seen that one, but yeah.
You're welcome, Justin, and thanks for hanging out with us, man. So you guys did Nintendo Quest. It was like a big deal, and then you did the Power Tour, right? You did the Power Tour for Nintendo Quest.
What a ride!
Yeah, the most unofficial, unauthorized Nintendo documentary ever.
Yeah, the Power Tour was. I've mentioned it that Rob and I had this elaborate schedule of screenings across North America, starting in Beverly Hills, California, which I remember we're outside of Tarantino's screening room is where we screened it. he was not there, but it was his screening room. And I remember we're on Rodeo Drive.
Oh.
Okay. And I'm looking at Rob and I'm like, how the did we get here? How did this happen? Anyway, we had this elaborate schedule of all these theaters. We're going to do meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. And I said, man, remember like the Cool Kiss and Motley Crue docs we used to watch where they would follow them on tour?
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't we get that? And then, of course, it was a money thing, but somehow we got it to work and we got the crew to follow us around. And I prefer it to Nintendo Quest myself, but that's just me.
Yeah. So then after Nintendo Quest, you took a little time off.
Yeah.
And then you guys did the first season of Action Figure Adventure, which at the time you didn't know if it was going to be a seasonal thing. You did Action Figure Adventure. And
we did. We had to sell it, right? So we made it episodic and then we had to sell it. So Rob and I have 3 passions: video games, toys, and music.
Yep.
And you know, we'd been asked for years, when are you going to do Nintendo Quest 2? And it's not that we didn't want to, but we didn't 100% have an idea.
Right.
So then we were like, well, what else can we do? Comic books? Then we were like, toys. So then we started.
See, now we're starting to thread in the Dollies, right? Our love of Dollies. And
exactly,
it was important when you and I talked about Dollies that we talked about not just like, little plastic people, but how you tied Dollies in with helping people. And I always thought that was really awesome. So anyway, all right, go ahead.
I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah. So the charity aspect came from me working at I was a store manager at EB Games for a long time, and they used to do a Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of, you donate at the till every December.
Right.
And then I was running a Star Wars charity group where we dressed up like the characters and raised money for that. And then I kind of got in with the Children's Hospital because of that and built a relationship up with them. So I thought, well, why don't we take the Nintendo Quest premise, but instead of me keeping the toys, we auction them off. I get my money back that I've put in, and then everything else goes to the charity of our choice. And that felt right to me.
Yeah.
Just to give it back. And we still get to enjoy, all of us still get to enjoy all the toys we find.
Yep.
I still got to hang on to these toys for 8-9 months before the auction or whatever. So I still got to enjoy them, but then pass them on to whoever got them. Chad, you, season 2, right?
Yep.
And it made a lot of sense. So we're doing that with the new project too.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that. Matt Rubin said, I loved watching Action Figure Adventure. Seeing all those toys was great, but I love seeing all the smaller toy stores and their setups.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Yeah, it's really funny too how us YouTubers, we all have different backgrounds, right? How we set it up.
Yeah.
It's taking that and going to each store and seeing how each store sets up their store displays, right? Everyone is so different and has such a different personality. It was just cool to see that. You would walk into some stores and they would look like there's just junk everywhere. Like just
that one in season 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I'm not going to name names, but
yeah. But I know that you know what I'm talking about. So.
Yes, yeah. Some stores you couldn't even walk on the floor; it was so filled with stuff. And then there was others where it was pristine and you looked like you couldn't touch anything. So it was really interesting to see that too, both with video games and with toys.
Yeah, Ginny and Brandon are saying how awesome Dark Matter is.
Yeah, we got to hang out during the summer. And we all went to Dark Matter together. That was a lot of fun.
You guys are going to take me to Dark Matter.
We are. Yeah, it's coming up soon, man.
Yeah,
coming up soon.
Pendragon says, I see Jay is holding a Cobra Commander figure. I secretly know that it was once a Cobra Viper before he went rogue and lost his senses.
Yeah, this one I usually get to pick what I want in my hands, but this design I did not. It was created by our good buddy Jeremy Duet, who also does my channel art. Rob has I don't even know what Rob has. I can't tell. I have Prime and Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
I think season 2 is where I got to pick. But yeah, anyway, yeah. No Vipers here, buddy. Their heads are much too big for me, so we
Is
can't
that
have that.
Chewie? Who is he holding? Obviously, it's Skeletor in one hand. The other one looks like Chewie.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. One thing that I really appreciate about action figure adventure, aside from the charity aspect, which is totally rad, right? Because toys should be fun in the way that like you tie in the love of toys and kids, and toys should be for kids, and then like giving back to children's health and all that stuff. I thought it was fantastic. But
Thank you.
We all had seen the toys that made us, from Brian Volkweiss and Nacelle on Netflix and things like that. And then when the toys that made us went away, then he took another concept over to Amazon, which was a toy store near you. And it was like always going into different toy stores and talking to the owners and the managers and, oh, this is what we do and blah, blah, blah. But with Action Figure Adventure, you guys tied in aspects of a toy store near you, but it was with two guys that people were learning more about because it was episodic and could follow these two guys to all of these different stores. So it was like, to me, it was better than just the concept of like, here's this store. So I really liked how that played out.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And it's like the things that we shot, obviously none of it's staged. It's all reality, right? So the thing with the flag in season 1, like all that stuff really happened. And that's one of my favorite things when we're working on these is you go into a new city, you go into a new store, you have no idea what's beyond that door, because I have to stay in the production van. Robin, the producer, will go in, get the signatures, get the release. The crew goes in and sets up. I have to sit outside like an idiot on the sidewalk.
Yeah. You're like, man, I'm the star. I'm going to sit here.
No, but it's just I'm trying to peek in. It's like, and I can't see what's in there because I'm not an actor, so I can't recreate the first time I see a flag or I see Eternia or something. I can't recreate that, so I have to wait outside. But it's really interesting, the characters and the people that we run into. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then Destro's Death says, I stumbled upon Action Figure Adventure on Amazon Prime. Absolutely loved it. Then one day I unexpectedly met Jay in person, and the rest is history. I wouldn't know anyone or be doing YouTube if it wasn't for Jay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Destro is a great guy. Fellow Canadian, lives pretty close to me. He's just such a great guy. His channel's fantastic too.
Oh, yeah.
Really picking up some good momentum. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I got to give a shout out to my mentors for YouTube, which is, Michael Mercy, Brian, Hooded Cobra Commander 788. Without those guys, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. So there you go.
And me.
Dude, well, Chad, without Chad, none of us would be alive. So there you go.
That's stupid. Vincent 396 says 2 superstars of the Joe community. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, that's kind of you, Vincent. Thank you. And the black hole rules, by the way.
Yeah. You're a superstar with Vincent there. Old Bob. And then Pendragon says, Jay, first I sit on the sidewalk like an idiot. Then I fondle Dollies.
Then I go in there and try and decide out of such amazing toys which ones will be auction worthy, which is torturous.
How hard is that in the moment? How hard is it?
It's much harder than Nintendo Quest. The new one we're doing, that's a very specific system.
Yeah.
So I can look at all the cool stuff for video games, but ultimately I'm going to that section for whatever system. This, you're walking into a store and it's just, I have to weigh nostalgia with what makes sense with the retail, which people make fun of me a lot about that. Is this the guy who pays retail and then tries to auction it off? No. If you guys watch any of the the shows,
no.
We go in there and there's negotiations, man. There's a lot more than shown on camera, but just trying to decide, I love Eternia. I love that play set, but does that mean that someone's going to want to bid on it? Are we going to make any money? What's the margin going to be for Children's Health? Like, So it's much more difficult than Nintendo Quest.
Dude. And I felt so bad. So you get the 10 items, you get it all ready to go. You got a live auction set up. What happens?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
ultimate
Yeah. The coof, the bug, the thing,
the
right? The
220.
lockdown. So then that totally threw a wrench in
Yeah.
everything that you had set up. So then you do the face or you do the live auction, right? Online, where you have Justice and
Yeah.
Joe, right?
Motu Joe, Justice Curry. We did the best that we could, and Rob shot me and my backyard reacting to the auction live. It was the best that we could have done, right?
And it was still great. It was still a great, final episode of that season.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I felt horrible the bath you took on that flag.
Especially since that was such an amazing story.
Yeah.
With Dark Matter and how that came to be, and it was like one of those moments that was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And
you're
John
kidding me? We're gonna
9
find a flag like already?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the way these things go, man. And I think people, I don't want to see people like watching people fail. How do I put this? People enjoy when things are real, and our shows are very much real. It's not always, we ask someone, one of the children's health members, how much would you like Jay to raise? And then he says 50,000. That would be great, $50,000. And I'm like, yeah, man, we'll get it. No, right? So it's realistic, and you see the triumphs and you see the failures, and I think it's important to see both.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin says, I can't wait to check both of these out. Well, hold on to your butt, Justin, because we got another one coming too.
Justin, I very much appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. Very kind.
And then James Lucas says, I loved Action Figure Adventure, Jay. Thanks for sharing your adventures.
Oh, thank you for watching it. And I got to give a thanks to my partner, Rob McCallum, right? I mean, I was just the guy who's in it. I had some of the ideas, but ultimately it's Rob's brainchild.
Yours truly was supposed to be in Planet Cool Stuff season 1. Supposed
dude, you're gonna get into stuff. You're in it now, man. So don't you worry about it. You'll get your time. I promise.
I know.
I promise.
So anyway, for everybody hanging out in the chat, Jay's partner in crime over there in the picture, the ginger driving is Rob McCallum, and Rob and our good friend Nathan Salyer, aka Tater the Toy Guy. Rob and Tater came to Albuquerque and they hand delivered my copy of Action Figure Adventure Season 2. And the three of us in the MAM all hung out at a Starbucks, and they were like, well, when we're on our way back from California, we want to come shoot your collection for Planet Cool Stuff. And I'm like, yeah, cool, totally. Like, let's do it. And then they came, but we live in a military installation. It becomes Rob's Canadian. And instead of using his Las Vegas dual citizenship, he uses Canadian citizenship. And they got held there for like 3 hours. And then we couldn't film. And it was all a ha ha ha. That's a funny story for another time. Right.
But then you're like, wait, but I really wanted to be in it. So what the F, man?
Yeah, I know. I was like, really? Like, I spent like 2 days like cleaning and dusting and all this stuff. Like I was taking the toothbrush to like the figure stands and the whole 9 yards just so he could come shoot this in 4K. And nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen. So yeah.
I want to answer Matt's question there. I think
I was actually just about to bring that up. So Matt Rubin, our good friend, asked, how cool is it to go down and visit Carson?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's there are a few moments in Nintendo Quest where I meet one in particular, one of my idols, who is Todd Rogers, before whatever is going on. I don't follow any of that stuff, right? Todd to me was the first like superhero, and so that's like a hockey fan meeting Wayne Gretzky. I got to meet him. Right. Then meeting Carson, that was the equivalent. Meeting him, like his bunker, I call his house the bunker. It's so incredible. It's just such a love letter to GI Joe. And then he has this separate building on his property, which he's recreated a Toys R Us inside it. So you walk inside it, and it's literally a Toys R Us with the shelving, with the signs.
Yep.
Every carded Joe, every Joe vehicle, and he's just like, yeah, grab what you want. Look at what you want. I'm like, Storm Shadow 88. He's like, yeah, man, right over here. Just don't be afraid to touch anything, whatever you want. And he was so nice. He wasn't like, don't touch any of that. Be careful. And he was such a great guy, and he's still such a great guy and a good friend of ours now.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud to know him. He's leading the charge for GI Joe 100%.
Yeah, he is absolutely the biggest torchbearer for GI Joe. And I fully believe that Operation Recall is like that spiritual continuation of a real American hero post 1994.
It's great. Yeah, he's such a great guy, Matt, and he's so down to earth. I had him on my YouTube channel way back a couple years ago. I'd like to get him again. Actually, I'd like to get him on with us, Chad, doing a versus. I think that would be a lot of fun to have. So Carson, considering he lets us use his images almost every Friday, so
just hit him up. He'll do it. I mean, yeah, all the time. I'm like, hey, Carson, what's up, man? You want to come on YouTube and hang out? And he's like, sure.
Yeah.
Carson's a great dude. And his omnibus is almost done. The first time I met Carson in person, I just walked up and I was just talking to him. I'm very unassuming in person, just real low key.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to him, and we're just chatting, me, him, and the ma'am, and we're just kind of talking, and he, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I didn't realize you had that many tattoos. And I'm like, you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, of course I know who you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, we just chatted. Yeah. Carson's one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet.
Great dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. 100% down to earth. Catching up on the chat. Oh, Just Jeff is here. I got to toy hunt with Just Jeff.
I saw that photo. Wonderful.
Yep. And then he says, I've enjoyed everything you and your pal Rob have done, Jay.
Oh, thanks, mate. I much appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. And speaking of Rob, Brandon brings up Mr. Dress Up, which is a fantastic documentary, and he's getting, all the love for it.
Yep.
Really cool. Logic Blaster, what's up? Says Action Figure Adventure sounds really cool. I need to check that out. Please check it out. It's so good, man. It's so good. It's all about love of toys and giving back, and yeah, totally cool. Oh,
look who it is.
Oh,
what's up, buddy?
Mikey. Hi, Mikey. Miss you.
Good to see you, dude.
Matt Rubin says, dude, the Art of G.I. Joe book is going to be fantastic as well. I have no idea where I'm going to put it. I think I'm going to go get like a church pew and just put it on that because
the gospel. Yep.
James Lucas, Carson seems like such an amazing, knowledgeable ambassador for G.I. Joe.
He is. And what's great when you're talking with Carson too is he knows everything. But if you don't, he's not one of the actually guys. He won't correct you or anything. He's just, he's so down to earth, and he's not a gatekeeper at all. He's just super down to earth, and he's really the best. Next to Chad.
What did you say? Next to Chad?
Next to Chad.
No, he's way better than me. I'm kind of condescending, and I will actually you. So, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. What is up, Will? Says hello, Chad and Jay, and everyone in the chat. Will, I'm sorry I missed your stream earlier today, but I will be sending you some of those mechs, my dude. So, Will and I, we always share like 1/18 scale stuff that we find, and a bunch of us will take pictures of things and send it to each other. The Mam and I were in the base exchange yesterday,
right?
No, Black Friday after the after the incident and Best Buy, and we're walking around, we're doing our thing in the exchange, and I was like, I just want to go by the toy section. I just want to go to the toy department. Just to see.
She's like, what a shock! What a shock.
She's like shocked and amazed. Here we go. Right? But she loves Dolly shopping too. And so, I go down one aisle and I'm like, there's a couple of Transformers, but nothing really. I go down another and I'm like, man, nothing really. Very back wall. They had all the Chat May Acid versus Beta stuff.
Oh wow.
They had the mechs, the mech that comes with the little, mech bay. They had this big badass like patrol boat. It's like 30 inches long. That's huge. That's what she said.
Wow.
And all this stuff, and I took it all. They had an F-35 Lightning. They had another plane that was kind of more like a F-15 Eagle. I took it all of it, and I had the cart stacked up, and then I came rolling out with the cart, and she just busts out laughing because it's just like toys like up to here in this cart. Yeah.
She's
But
like,
yeah,
the shopkeep is
yeah.
like, so what would you like? And you're like, I'll take it. What? All of it.
It's
Give it to me.
this. I will take this. But yeah, so I sent Will pictures of all that stuff because while we were on the aisle, I was like, babe, you gotta help me decide. Like, I want this, but I don't really know if I need it, but they only have one of it. And she's like, no, get it, because we can like paint it and then we'll put it next to the flag and we'll like customize it up. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So before I take everything off the shelf, I take pictures of all of it and I send it all to Will. And Will's like, that stuff's not even in like most American retailers yet. I only got it because it was through the exchange system.
That's
So I
awesome.
was like, hell yeah, look at me go.
So cool.
Oh, look who's here. Den of Geek.
Den, what's up, brother? Good to see you again.
You're late, my friend. You owe everyone punch and pie. Just Jeff says, hopefully we can again Saturday, Chad. I'm headed home for 2 weeks and then back to Arizona. Yeah, man. Hit me up. Let me know. I'll bring the ma'am and we'll freaking hang out. And then Vickman says Carson's just a cool guy. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
Yeah. Pendragon says, I will actually the f out of people.
Get the out of here.
Get the out of here. Actually, yeah. No, I don't like the actually. So Jeff Butler. Carson included the that's right. Carson included the photo of Jeff Butler and his brother in their Cobra t-shirts in the front of the omnibus. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, Jeff sent me that
so
picture. I was
cool.
like, that's me, because Carson was going through it on a YouTube.
So
one
cool.
of his YouTubes. Yeah.
Right,
That's really cool. Mython the Python. What's up, everybody? I'm going to have to check Action Figure Adventure out. I'm surprised I haven't stumbled across it already. Anything about 80s and 90s toys has to be rad. Dude, please check it out. It's so good. It's so good. Den of Geek, Chad, Best Buy incident. You find someone to actually help you there. No, it wasn't at Best Buy. It was at a Brazilian grill. There was an active shooter, and we had to shelter in place while I ate meat.
There was an incident.
There was an incident. Not in the Brazilian grill, but in the mall. And I just sat there eating, and I just watched everyone fleeing. Yeah. Will says, Chad, that was a hell of a score. Thank you so much. You're welcome, dude. Absolutely. And again, it kind of goes back to the spirit of Action Figure Adventure, right? Like you guys are traveling all over the place, you're finding dollies, and you're buying like, all the grails and the high end stuff and the best of the best, so you can sell it for charity and give back to kids. And that really struck a chord with me, even though you and I are really real friends,
right?
Because like I have always felt like that when it comes to toys. Like, oh, I have 2 of this. I know somebody who doesn't have one, so I'm just going to send it to them in the mail. And I think that we could use a lot more of that, and like the stuff that you and Rob do. And
well, I'll say everyone out there, I'm sure you guys know how great of a guy Chad is, but he sent me so many toys just out of the goodness of his heart. If I mention anything, if something whispers out of my mouth, like, oh man, I always wanted the Watchtower, his computer brain's like, Watchtower, and then he compartmentalizes it. And then after our stream, he'll go and he like 2 weeks later, the Watchtower's in the mail. It's like, dude, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Or the MMS. And you were like, yeah, I have an MMS, but it's incomplete. And I was like,
yep.
I have 3 of those.
I think it is important in all the communities, gaming, toys, that we are kind to each other. I mean, I always say this, Chad. I think our community is great. I personally myself, I haven't had any run-ins with anyone, but the odd comment here or there on my YouTube videos, but nothing major.
Yeah.
Every week in the chat when we do our shows, we always have great people. I think everyone is very respectful. If you like He-Man and I like Transformers, we still celebrate each other's victories with finding stuff, and I don't know where I'm going with that. I love all our communities. I think some just really amazing people here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, I have a buddy who loves Dino Hunters, loves Dino Hunters, and I'm like, dude, that dinosaur sucks. It's like a squeaky toy, like, and I just rag on that dinosaur,
yeah,
like to no end, and he's just like, I like it. What are you gonna do? Like, there's no like, I'm gonna punch you in the face because you don't like this dinosaur. That stuff's dumb. It's totally dumb.
Pendragon, he's awesome.
I got two things for you, Jay. One, G-Force Racing is here.
G-Force Racing, hello, good to see you. Oh man, I love that picture.
And two, oh god, yeah, right. G-Force.
So good.
Jim Largo's here.
Largo's Lair, what's up, mate? Good to see you.
And then V Conley says, definitely watching action figure adventure tonight. V Conley, have you never seen it? Let me know in the comments below. I don't, I do that as a joke, but whatever. Oh, and then Jim Largo says, this show is 100% value added. Yeah, buddy. That's me. The guys in my band, like when we're out on tour or whatever, we're driving around in like the tour van, and we'll pull up to an intersection. Nate always drives. I always sit shotgun. Jake's always sleeping in the back. Always. It's always how it goes. And we'll pull up to like, an intersection or something. I'll go clear right. And then they'll start cracking jokes every now and again. I'm like, what, man? I'm value added. And so, yeah, for a while, they're like, oh, here comes value added Chad. Yeah. Speaking of value added, our good friend Pendragon, because that's a value added Chad right there, says, please smash the like button. Yes, please, please, please. Oh, and then look, Brandon says, hey, Chad, I always wanted a flag.
You better watch what you say.
Well, since I only have one and you have a wife, my friend, get your wife to get you a flag like mine did.
I think, Brandon, I think Dark Matter still has theirs, buddy. I think they still have it.
George Aiken, our SAS MMS is better than you. I will agree, but I do not have one, George. But I do love the gray, black, and yellow for that MMS. It's fantastic. 100%. Denna Geek says, Action Figure Adventure is amazing. Both seasons are heartwarming, and you can watch them 10 times and always find something new in each shot. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, that's nice of you, Dan. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
I'm catching up on the chat here. Pendragon says, Jay imitating the moving mechanical parts of Chad's computer brain is the best thing I've ever seen on YouTube. Did I miss it? Did you do a little?
I think I did this. Yeah, I don't know.
And then Dale says, Comic-Con, where you're standing in front of the seller and you're buying all this stuff, then they hand you one more and you're like, put it on the pile. Dude, what is up with Skidmark, man? Did you see that?
Well, his pants get so full and then he slides off.
I'm not even touching the mic. He's just like,
dude, he keeps crapping his pants. That's why they call him Skidmark.
Maybe he has swamp ass.
It's for real. No, I got that, dude. It's just I can feel it now. I can feel it right now. Ew.
James Lucas, Chad is actually very awesome and generous. Thank you.
Actually, I agree. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. But, and then Big Bacon says, Chad helped me find a grail item that I needed to complete a set. Still means the world to me. What was that, dude? What did I help you find? Oh, look. Ginny, she shot Brandon down. You know, one thing I have to give Ginny and Brandon, I starred these comments. When we were talking about 10 years and Nintendo Quest, and Brandon said 10 years goes so fast, right?
Yeah.
And this touched me, so I had to star these. And then Ginny says to Brandon, it goes by quickly because you're living the fast life with me. And I thought that was so sweet.
Listen, the old saying, your parents used to say, time flies when you're having fun. Super lame, I know, but it is so true. It is so true. And the older you get, for me at least, I try and live every single moment doing a fun thing as much as I possibly can. And I'm telling you, dude, when I start my streaming week, which is Thursday, till now, Chad, I kid you not, it goes like that.
Oh,
I can't believe it's Sunday night already. It's like, because I'm having such a blast the whole time, right? So
yeah,
that is cute. That is cute.
Yeah, it is. It's super sweet, and I like to see how the two of them are real sweet in the chat like that. It reminds me a lot of me in the man. So I always appreciate that kind of
So
stuff.
much love. So much love.
Yeah, so much love, and then this guy fires this off. I'll trade the wife for the flag.
Oh my god.
She makes a mean chicken pot pie. I don't think your wife would like that, dude. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And then GeForce Racing says, "My hands are so fast." The win knocks skid mark over. Get it? Win skid mark.
Well, all you have to do, to all the modern collectors out there, if you're looking for a flag, just don't buy figures for a month, and you'll be able to get a flag.
Ooh, man, that was good.
Hi.
Kevin approved of that.
3 G.I. Joe classifieds cost the same as one 1985 USS flag.
Ah, Big Bacon said it was the rise of Cobra Jill dial tone. Yes, that's right.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep. Well, I'm here for you, dude. And Big Bacon, that Kevin was for you. Big Bacon loves Kevin from the selfie series. So
nice.
All right. So we talked about action figure adventure, and then I think this was at the same time as action figure adventure, right? When you guys started doing the Jay and Rob Toy Show on GINX Esports Canada.
Yeah, so Rob and I used to do a YouTube podcast called the Jay and Rob Toy Show.
Yep.
And GINX Esports in Canada picked up Action Figure Adventure, and they said to Rob, "Okay, what else you got? You got anything else? Because we love this. We want something else." And then Rob called me up. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about us filming? We could do this." And because it was the pandemic, we couldn't be in the same room.
Yeah.
So I had one camera at my place. He had one camera at his place, and we shot a TV show. And this is it. So there's 2 seasons of this as well.
Yeah. How hard was that? Because I know that you said sometimes you actually weren't reacting off of each other.
No, we were. I couldn't see him.
That's what it was.
I could hear him, but I couldn't see him.
Yeah.
And then I had Ryan, one of our camera guys, on the other side of the room. So it was weird. I mean, again, it's another one of those situations where it's like we did the best we could with what we had. I think the show turned out fine.
Oh, I love it.
Watched it
That's
today. You would never know it was the pandemic, right? It's just like what we're doing here, right? It's just like talking heads.
Well, it was just like the Jay and Rob Toy Show that you guys had on Rob's channel, but it was, a little slicker, like the animations and the cuts and the things like that. But it's such a great show. Are you guys talking about a season 3?
Yeah. I mean, everything is on the table. We want to do all of it. It's just if it makes sense.
Yeah.
If they keep offering it to us, we'll do it for sure. This one, and I'm just paraphrasing what Rob said. This is the easiest one to do, right? Because again, I'm at my house, he's at his house.
Yeah,
that's it, right?
Yeah.
So
no,
I would love to.
I love that show, and I love the the Jay and Rob Toy Show that you guys would do on his channel. There's a lot of awesome episodes. Like you had the voice of Lion-O on there. You had MattTracker.com on there. You had so many great episodes of that show.
We started to do, like the Letterman formula. We were having guests on all the time, right? And it was good. But again, we all have a lot of projects. I started doing my own YouTube, which, as you know, dude, takes up so much time. Then Rob was doing dress up and faking filmation. And ultimately, we just didn't have time to do it anymore.
Yeah, because in there he had Missing Mom, Mr. Dress Up, faking filmation, and he was like working on 20 things at once.
There's a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to do it again. And Rob's been going live this week to help promote the Kickstarter for his Planet Cool season 1. But again, if it's if it's something that the people want, yeah, of course we'll do it again. I think it's fun, and it's Rob and I. It's like you and I. I think it's very natural. It's we have a good rapport.
Yep.
We play off each other quite well, I think. So I don't know. When I watch YouTube, I love watching guys just talk about toys and video games.
Yeah.
Like I could just watch that stuff. I would rather watch that than any polished TV show any day of the week, man.
Yeah, and this is the
Real.
first time I've thrown up a slideshow in a freaking hot minute. And I only did it because I know a lot of people know you and they know that, you and I, we stream every Friday, but
Yeah.
I was surprised that a lot of people don't know about Action Figure Adventure, don't know about Nintendo Quest or this or that, or the fact that like you guys are on TV in Canada all the time and people they just don't know it. And I wanted to just
Yeah.
kind of celebrate that and talk about dollies at the same time because we love dollies.
Of course. Absolutely.
I'm going to address this Den of Geek. We're going to get there in just a minute. Yeah, we're going to get there. We got 33 minutes because I don't want to walk on Hella Dope's time, and we're going to get to it here in a moment. So, yeah. So anyway, I love this show. I think this show is fantastic. And just like somebody was saying about Action Figure Adventure, you can rewatch it all the time. I rewatch this all the time.
Oh, dude, that's so nice of you to say. Like,
I put it on my Vimeo on my iPad, like when I'm over there working at my
yeah.
customizing table, and I just listen while I work all the time.
And I gotta say, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure you're okay if I let everyone know about season 2, your part in that. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we had was it Man season 2? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Yak Face was season 1 and Man and Man was season 2.
The Power of the Force, a Man, 1985's Kenner Star Wars figure.
Yep.
I thought that would be a great auction piece, and this is the guy who won it. This is how Chad and I met. And check this out.
You're gonna tell it.
Chad wins it, contacts me on eBay. We start going back and forth, and he's like, "Listen, I just want, can I give you back the figure?" He's like, "I just want to help out with the charity aspect." So not only did the guy win it,
yeah,
he wanted to give us back the figure so we could re-auction it again. And ultimately I said, "No, please keep the figure." But that's the kind of guy Chad is too. He's just completely generous. And that's how we met, and that's how we became friends. So how about that? That's a pretty cool story. I like that one.
I just didn't want your stupid Star Wars figure.
No, that Jenny, absolutely. He won the auction. That's how we met.
I did.
Yeah.
So I don't really collect Star Wars. I have some Star Wars pieces that I've customized into Joe stuff, but it was either I'm gonna win it or I'm gonna raise the price, and one way or the other, I'm helping. So I bid. Somebody outbid me. I bid again because I was like, cool, we're going to get into a bidding war. And then at some point I'm going to back out and I'll have boosted it a couple $100. Woo, And I wound up winning it. And I did. I reached out and I was like, hey, like I don't collect Star Wars. So if you guys just want to keep the figure and re-auction it, it helps children's health. And then you guys said no. And then I was like, well, I know that Rob wanted it. Just give it to Rob. And you were like, no.
Well, and I didn't know you at all.
No.
So we have to be very careful with what we do,
Sure,
right? So something doesn't come back and bite you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, you just keep it. You paid for it. It's yours. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy how we met. I think that's a really great story.
Yeah, same, absolutely. Matt Noon says, agreed, Chad, or agreed, Jay. I never knew you were on TV. I can't wait to check them out. See?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Matt. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, this is before YouTube. This is what I did before and what I'm still doing.
Yeah.
On top of YouTube. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's all out of love for the whole community. And you and Rob do a lot for the pop culture community that I think a lot of people just aren't in the know of. I don't want to say knowledgeable, but they're just not aware of it. Lilith is here and says, "Hey guys, just passing by to say hello and knock over Chad's figures, just so he can do another car rant." But knowing Chad, get to this. See, look I'm reading it right now, not ignoring you. Okay.
He gets a lot of comments. Okay, so come on.
Because all these people know I'm going to read almost every single one of it. Like this one, I could bypass that, even though Yo Joe Jerk is cool, but he's talking to Patrick. You know what I mean? Like I can bypass that. But then like this, I'm going to read this. Denny Geek says, I have both seasons of the toy show, and it's another one I love. Jay and Rob create great projects.
Dan, thanks, brother. Thank you.
This is for you, Jay.
Packers, look at this guy. Hope everyone's having a fun stream so far. Good to see you, buddy. Air guitar, naked. Never mind. Good to see you, dude.
Air guitar naked. Yeah.
Oh, we always talk on my game streams about him going out partying. I'm like, I could see you like ripping your shirt off, jumping up on the bar and doing air guitar. He's like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's about right. And then Mo says, my first love is Star Wars. Second is G.I. Joe. I will take them all. There you go.
You got it, Mo. Well, watch what you say around Chad, buddy. Watch what you say.
You know what's funny is I always say like, oh yeah, I got a couple of Star Wars pieces, blah, blah, blah. I customized them all into Joe. Like I just said it like 3 minutes ago, but I got that Death Star.
Oh, that Death Star's like, I mean, it's such an iconic piece of toy history, regardless of what you're in, what your thing is, right? People see the Kenner Death Star and they're like, okay,
but
that's badass, man.
It's not just that. Again, you and I are very open about our moms and how our relationship with our mothers fueled our lifelong love of toys. Like you and I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And you met my mom. My mom popped in on one of our streams.
So cool.
But because I shattered that Death Star when I was a kid, and my mom cared so much that she replaced it. When I saw this one, and I walked up and I was like, hey man, that Death Star, 2 questions. What's the completion percentage and how much? And he's like, hang on a second. Then he walks over to the owner and he's like, well, I got to go ask him. It's his. And I was like, oh, tell him it's for me. Right. Because I've known the owner of that store for like 20 something years.
Right.
And he goes over and he's like, hey, that guy wants to buy the Death Star and wants to know, is it complete and how much? And he's like, oh, Chad. He's like, tell him it's 100% with the foam and the Dianoga. And for him, this price, which we don't really talk about price.
Sure. No, that's great.
When the ma'am came home on Wednesday, I said, there's one thing I have to ask you. And she's like, okay, what's that? Build that Death Star with me on the floor. Just you and me. Like, I'm not going to film it. I want you to build it with me. And she's like, okay. But we didn't get around to it because we were doing other stuff, sheltering in place in the mall. So
it's amazing how we have these physical pieces of our childhood and they're part of our history, and there could be better play sets, there could be better IPs. It doesn't matter. Nothing will ever change the feeling you have for that Death Star. And that's what makes toy collecting so awesome. It really does.
And I've said it a million times. Not only was the flag, the flag was that it was that one toy that we either knew somebody who had it, and half the time they didn't even appreciate it. Like my buddy who had it, he was just, it was in his way all the time. And we either knew somebody that had it or we could never get it because our parents didn't want to buy it or they couldn't afford it or we had no place to put it. It was like that toy. For Joe fans, it was like that item. Dude, when the ma'am and I built it, like the first thing I did was I had to do a lot of restoration work on it, a lot of retro bright, but I re-stickered the whole thing. I built the custom base, blah, 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 blah. We took it into the Joe room piece by piece. We built the whole thing. We put it up on its riser. Dude, when I put that last deck pin in, I freaking cried like a little kid with a skinned knee. Yeah. I did. And I never walk in this room and take that sight for granted. I always walk up and I just put my hands on that deck, just to feel that thick, kind of coarse plastic. I freaking love it.
Dude, I always do that. I always drag my hand across the deck as well. And I'm the same as you, where it's the centerpiece in my toy room.
Yeah.
Every single day, because it's by our back door, so we let our dogs out. Every single day I'm down there.
Yeah.
I look at it, and there's not one time that goes by that I'm not like, I'm so grateful, because like I got that in 2020 in the summer when we didn't know what was going to happen with the world, and I had some savings, and I'm like, okay, Dark Matter has one for me, another one, and I'm like, I'm doing it. and I got it and I put it together. Same thing. I watched for extra nostalgia. I watched Brian's video, Hooded Cobra Commander 788's video on how to put it together.
Yeah.
Had that on my iPad and was going along with Brian, building it with him. And it was like magic.
I watched a bunch. So like I watched Joe Berg's video
Yep.
about the custom base. Then I went and watched Retro Blasting. I watched Brian's. I watched Form BX257s. Like I watched a bunch of different videos and I was like, okay, how am I going to build mine? Like most people use 2x4s. I'm going to go 6 inches. And I thought, yeah, you know, mine's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. And then I saw Scuba Pete's and his is like, it's got to be like 30 inches, his custom lower base. And he's got like wet pools and all this stuff. And I was like, forget it, man. Scuba Pete's blows everybody's away, but it's not a competition, right? I just sharing in the love.
Yeah, and I was merely talking about just putting the flag together. I don't have one of those underdeck tables that everyone has yet, but just
and you don't need one. I only built it for storage. I was like, my killer whale will fit under here,
dude. It's great. You put the whale, you put all the Joe boats and stuff under there. It's beautiful.
I have most of my sharks under there because they're sharks. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, get under there.
It's either that or the garbage for the shark and Deep Six.
Yeah, I had to show Deep Six in my collection. He's on the shelf, and I was like, here's everyone's least favorite 2 POA figure.
It's the worst Joe. No, actually, that goes to a lift ticket. Lift ticket's still the worst Joe.
Dude, lift ticket is nowhere near as bad as him. Come on,
dude. Lift ticket looks
like
Ice
Cream Soldier.
Lift ticket's face looks like he's like some kind of melted Disney toy, or he's being tortured or something. You want to talk about a giant head? Look at Lift Ticket for a while.
Okay, so I have the modern Lift Ticket in my collection, so I can't really. Well,
I'm sure the modern Lift Ticket.
OG one
and again, this is not. I'm not a Lift Ticket hater. This is the '86 Lift Ticket, and the head is enormous, and he looks silly. He's got that goofy little grin, and it's just like, dude, get the
Kiwi GI Joe Customs and Collection says, "What's up? How's it going?
Good to see you, mate. Thanks for hanging.
Going well." And then, because Earl Potts cares, you guys have been streaming for a while. Are you sweating yet? You getting a little swampy? Earl Potts
is that you and Papa Todd? That's a great picture, man.
Toddy Mac right there.
Great picture. Yeah, dude, I'm soaked. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
And then James Lucas says, "That's such a sweet how we met story. You guys are awesome."
Oh, thanks, James. Thank you.
That's all Jay, dude. That's not me. Robert's Infinite Realm says, "Since I just discovered Jay a few weeks ago through Chad, I've got a lot to look into." Yeah, you do, man. You do.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that.
Willie Lowe says, "I really need to get around to watching the GINX stuff." Dude, this stuff on GINX ESPORTS is freaking awesome. Lilith says, "Yeah, Chad getting popular in mainstream, and you know that means Chad's going to get a big head like the 86 Viper." I don't know how I'm mainstream. I'm the farthest thing from mainstream. I don't talk about Marvel Legends. I don't talk about Classified. I don't talk about anything you can go rip off a store shelf right now. But that's my niche, and I like it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Kiwi says, "Moms are the best."
Oh, 100%.
Chad will be the next ninja. No, dude, get out of here. George Aiken says, "I'm going to fly another X-Wing into it." No, sir, I will not. I will not. And then Mython says, "You love what you love. As long as you're having fun and happy, it doesn't matter what line or lines you collect."
Dude, I totally agree with that. And that goes for video games as well as toys. Like what you like, and life's too short. I mean, you have to worry about your life and what you like. I don't know all these people that have all this time to worry about what other people are doing, man. It's just a little weird to me, especially at our age.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, don't worry, but like, just we're all in the same community. Just, you know, if I get a Luke Skywalker and you don't like Star Wars, just be happy that I found something the same way I would be happy if you found something you were really looking for, right?
It costs nothing to respond to somebody with, "Oh, hey, cool," or like mine is always, "That's rad."
Yeah.
I will always say that's rad, not because I'm like placating or I'm blowing somebody off, but I say that's rad because you're excited about it. Like, that's rad.
Great.
I think it's rad that you're excited about that dolly that you just got. That's rad.
seeing anyone's passion about anything, I love it so much. It doesn't matter what it is, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just love seeing people being happy with whatever they're into, and if that brings you joy, that's all that matters.
That's
That's
why I
really
keep
all. It's
pushing
your
that.
life, man.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's
So
why I keep pushing that keep toys fun. You know, like toys should
yeah,
be fun, period. If it's not fun, just stop. Like, I don't mean stop altogether, but like stop putting so much energy into something that's not fun.
right.
Reassess where you're at
Agreed.
if it's not fun. Like
100%.
I have fun. I get down on the floor down here with my dollies and stuff, and I don't like pew pew pew, but man, I have fun. It's awesome. Pendragon says, George, yes, Chad has already confirmed he will destroy the second Death Star. Actually, it's my third Death Star. Thank you. So that would be Star Killer Base.
Oh,
No.
don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. No
Look
more.
at
No more.
this. Lawrence is here. What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
I was that kid that had that flag. That it was like in your way. Were you that kid?
No, he had the flag. He was the kid who had the flag.
Yeah. He did have a flag. Robert's Infinite Realm says, so Chad and Jay like big decks, huh?
7.5, baby. 7.5 feet.
That's what she said.
So
Yep.
good.
Jim Largo says it's all fun and games until Chad makes his custom not safe for work tickle me Serpentor.
It's all fun and games until Chad.
Now I'm gonna have to make one. I don't know.
I'd like to see that. That would be that's something. That's something.
GeForce Racing says I frequently sit in the middle of my toy room and slowly spin my chair and take in the sights. Yep, right. Absolutely. Just
You know, I had the pleasure of being on Payne's Toy Samples show last night, and we were just talking. What a wonderful podcast that was, by the way. He has so much wisdom, and he's so calm. And anyway, my point to all that is we were talking about collections, when is enough kind of thing. And we both kind of mentioned at some point you just got to step back and look at what you have and just be like, man, look at all this amazing stuff that I've collected my entire life, and just enjoy it instead of constantly chasing the next thing and the next thing. Just step back. Once you do that, and I've learned to do that because of the price of things, but once you do that, you really, really appreciate things a lot more, I found. You really do.
and there's a lot of things to struggle against too, but you definitely have a point. One, two, you didn't tell me you were going to be on Payne's show, so now I'm going to have to go back and find that. But
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really great. A little bit later, it was 9:30 at night. I'm like, if we're gonna be up to
man,
all
you were
hours of the
awake for
night, I stayed up for that. Can you believe it, dude? It was,
did you the whole time were you like, I'm tired, I want to go to bed now? But I completely understand that a lot of the times, like we're like the person that's like digging themselves into that hole, and then they look up and they're like, man, this hole's really deep. Like you get yourself into this collection and you like pile in the dollies and the play sets and the vehicles, and sometimes instead of stepping back and just appreciating, it's like I got to get more shelves because I got more stuff, and like I'm in that right now, and I don't want to be in that. But
for me,
yeah.
and for you, and I will say anyone who's been in the game as what I call a lifelong collector.
Yeah.
Okay, whoever your favorite character is, mine is Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. So you get to a point where I must have, I don't know, what, 15 different Lukes from Return of the Jedi. You get to a certain point when you're like, oh my God, look at this one. It's even closer to Mark Hamill's likeness than the last one was. Then you buy it. 2 years later, Hasbro brings another one, then you buy it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you just got to let it go. It's like, this will never be the last Luke Skywalker. I have to make it the last one. And I'm not saying stop buying toys. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying
Jay hates toys. Jay hates toys.
we got to appreciate what we have, you know.
Yep.
We got to appreciate, just step back and just be like, cool, man, I got lots of cool stuff and I'm happy with that.
And a lot of it is, I don't want to say fighting against, but understanding that, the internet is more about consensus than it is about, that individual thought of, hey, I like Skidmark. Cool. That's rad. Where people would be like,
Yeah.
oh, but did you get the freaking classified Python Patrol Trouble Bubble? It's like, no.
What does that have to do with Skidmark?
Yeah, what does that have to
Yeah,
do with me
like,
liking Skidmark? Like
they're injecting their own whatever they want to talk about
Yeah.
into your
the
conversation. Yeah,
consensus of the internet, I think it either draws people into that I have to get the newest things so I can put up a post about it on Instagram and feel like I'm relevant, or I have to get this newest thing because if I don't, then other people I know on the internet are going to have it, and then I'm going to feel like left out with that whole FOMO thing. And
yeah.
I think in a way it erodes that sense of community to the point where, like, I gotta feel relevant. I need other people to validate my opinions, and you don't. You just don't. Like, if you like it, buy it. That's all that matters. Don't worry about what anybody else says. And that's why this whole like hater, shill, toxic, it's all stupid. All of it's dumb. All of it.
You ultimately post something on social media, being a new pickup video, whatever, because you want to share your joy with other people.
Yep.
And I've never understood the point of disliking a YouTube video, like thumbs downing a YouTube
I
video.
didn't even show this monster on Instagram. I just got it, unboxed it. I went and I smelled that new plastic and I put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Anyway, I interrupted.
No, that's okay. I don't understand the point of thumbs downing a YouTube video or leaving a nasty comment.
It's still interaction as far as YouTube's concerned.
But this, I remember posting, this was on, I think, my community tab on my page and on my Facebook. I got Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, 1983, with the blue lightsaber, which was a very short run.
Yeah. Yep.
Posted him. I was like, oh my God, Grail alert. I found this one. And one of the first comments I got was, oh, I bet you that blue lightsabers are repro. And I never understood the point of deflating someone's bubble like that.
Those are the people that in the corporate world they would be called the joy thief. Like they're the ones, like when you go through that corporate training, like the emotional intelligence. Are you a joy thief or are you a joy multiplier? Like, I don't care what they're called in corporate speak. It's stupid. Like you wasted your energy just to try to smack you down a notch. It's dumb.
And then ultimately I saw the comment and I was like, oh, you feel a little bit deflated. You shake it off, but you're like, I just never understood the point on pissing on people's parade. I don't get it, man.
I had some guy come into one of my videos talking shit about my tattoos, and I'm like, did that make you feel better? Like, I don't care what you like. You know what I mean?
Like I said earlier, dude, and I'll repeat it again. Like, how do people have time to worry about other people? Worry about your life, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, Masterson 42 cents a $5 super chat. Masterson he's a very awesome guy, very cool. We get along very well in person, but he's Air Force and I'm Army, and we love to talk smack throughout the branches, but we do it out of love and respect. So, right, that's kind of where I'd like to see people in the toy community get. Like, talk some shit, but do it out of love.
This in the changing of the opinions. Not that I want to go on a big rant here, but I feel like we're both on the edge of one, right? The changing of the opinions. It's like, you could say, well, Falcon's head is ugly for classified, and if I don't agree with that, I can't just say, no, I don't. I disagree, man. And we go on to something else. No, it's like that person has to change your mind. No, let me tell you why you're wrong. Falcon's head is this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And you try and sway the other person's opinion.
Yeah.
It's just,
that's an internet consensus. Like, how can an opinion be wrong? And then people want to get into well, is it subjective or is it objective? It's a fucking opinion, man. Like,
it's a dolly. It's a dolly. I'm gonna play with it in the bathtub. It's a dolly.
I love dollies. I don't care what dollies you love. There it is. Masterson, thank you very much, says, when I put my flag together the first time, I used Brian's video as well. I'm getting a custom base made, and when it's done, I'll do it again and maybe film it.
Sweet.
I think you should. And thank you for the super chat again, my friend. Matt Noon says, we are so fortunate to have all those guys you just mentioned to have documented vintage Joes. Yeah. To include Jay. Jay did a real awesome series on all the Battlefield accessories. And I love that series you did, man.
Oh, thanks,
that series
buddy.
was
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you.
Viper Scout says, Ice Cream Soldier has an awesome sculpt. See Cobra Shock Troopers. Ice Cream Soldier does have a fantastic sculpt. The sculpt on that figure is, out of this world. He's just called Ice Cream Soldier.
Yeah.
Big Bacon says, I guarantee you've never watched the flag video on my channel. Probably not. Vickman says, my mom still buys me toys, especially Batman stuff.
Oh, Vickman, what's up, brother? That's very touching. As I got older too, my mom, she would still buy me random Star Wars figures. And the weird thing, she didn't know about what I had anymore, right? Being an adult and stuff. Almost everyone she bought me, I didn't have. Think about that. That's crazy, man. That's some mom power there for you. Right
yeah,
there.
dude, your mom and my mom were like they were like kindred spirits in that way.
Yeah.
And I love that about your mom.
I appreciate that. I was just gonna say I know so much about all these different lines because she bought me all these different lines. That's where my love for this stuff comes. That's why I know, like you, we know so much about the different lines from the 70s, 80s, 90s because I was fortunate enough to play with most of it. So.
Yeah, which is always cool. Pendragon says, Chad sends me 45. That's rads a week. My life is a lie. No, dude. Different context. Totally different context.
Mom power.
And then David Andrews says, okay, this is cool. Yeah, it is cool. Masterson says, ask Melinda from Retro Blasting, and she says, enjoy my joy. Don't hate on other people's likes. Absolutely. Yeah. The first time I met Melinda in person, she didn't know who I was, and I was sitting at a table behind her and Michael and Scuba Pete and a bunch of other people, and she was leaning over to Michael, and she's like, who's that guy behind us? Like she thought I was like some like internet hater, and Michael's like, oh, that's just Chad. Like,
yeah.
He's cool. Pendragon, also Chad. I'm down on the floor with my dollies. You shush. Okay. Lauren says, I never took it for granted that I had the flag and always had friends come over to play with it. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, totally awesome.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Bacon, and I'm a Chad Rad survivor. Okay. I'm catching up for a second so we can move on in the slides here. Palpatine says, we all know these two gems of the guys called Chad and Jay are most genuine and respectful guys out there. You two would make great royal cards by my side with the lightning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Palpatine, I have to be Luke Skywalker in this situation. So ultimately, my friend, I would have to take you down. But I thank you. In all seriousness, thank you for the nice compliment.
Yeah, thank you so much. Mython the Python, this is a really cool comment. Says, one of my most memorable G.I. Joe moments was Christmas of '89. My dad was deployed in combat with the 82nd in Panama, and my mom was a hardworking ICU nurse, tried her best to take my mind off the war.
Dude, wow. That's really awesome.
Maybe someday I'll tell the story of my dad, and none of you will believe it. It's absurd.
Someday
it's out of this world. Oh, then he keeps going. She went out and bought me every G.I. Joe toy she could find. Never before or after had I been spoiled like that, but it forever left an impact on me. A mother's love, her way of trying to make me think of my dad in combat. Dude, that's
amazing.
So cool.
That's amazing.
That's super cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very, very cool. Scrolling. Sorry, here we go. Oh, look, Impossible Pie's here. What's up, dude?
Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Robert's Infinite Realm. Jomo, the joy of missing out. Yeah, that's totally my thing. Jomo. Wait, what was that, Chad? What was what? What were we talking about?
You're 5 minutes behind, I think.
I'm easily 5 minutes behind. Actually, I'm 8 minutes behind, and I think Impossible Pie's talking about the Haya Toys Aliens APC.
Yeah, that thing's slick.
Yeah, and then when you take the lid off, the command console is all lit up and everything too.
Beauty.
Holds like 20 troops in it. It's ridiculous. David, what is that new thing, Chad? It looks like the Rhino. Oh, yeah, it's the Aliens APC. Sorry. Yep, that's exactly what it is. I'm doing it for the views. Yes, I am. Just don't tell anyone. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, catching up. All right. I sent Chad the Christmas picture via Instagram. Yeah, my mom went, oh, did you just send that to me now? Because I'll definitely go check that out. And then our good friend Jesse at JLS says, people forget that opinions are not facts. Absolutely. Jesse, you should come hang out with me and Jay sometime, dude. You want to talk about, we'll have a freaking
anytime. Yep.
And then Pendragon says, please make that t-shirt. It's a friggin' opinion, man. Well, I still have to put up that don't go full classified t-shirt. And then Ryan's here. What's up? Laser Pants says, my mom offered to buy me the NECA sewer lair.
Nice. I mean, yeah.
Yep. Gonna do it.
Take her up on it for sure.
And then this is for you.
So be it, Jedi.
Man, I love Return of the Jedi. It's such a good movie. Impossible Pie. Is that brand new and is it Hiya Toys? Yes, it's the Hiya Toys true 1/18 scale. Okay, look. Frick it. I'll show it, right? So the gun in the back, right? The main cannon, it turns and goes down just like it does in the movie, right? It does that. This part comes off. This lights up as well.
Oh, dang.
Right on the top. And it's cool. It's got like a mesh net in it. There's major detail in this thing. I'm going to take the figure out because you know me and figures and baggies, right? And then here's the inside of the vehicle. You can see
man.
Seats, right?
Look at that.
So there's the driver's seat. This door opens right here.
Oh, that's beauty.
She's in there. On this side, the troop door opens like it should in the movie, right? It slides out. And then when you light it up, you see how that command console?
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, wow. So it shows like Apome, Hicks, Hudson, Vasquez, like all of them, all their little monitors.
That's so great.
Yeah, and then you can see there's like the weapon storage.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you open the back opens up and it holds that many more figures and it has the passenger. It's got jump seats. Dude, this thing is ridiculous.
I mean, that's a lot of love and craftsmanship, right? Like we got to get vehicles like that again. Like we really do.
This thing is it's utterly amazing. And Sal from 2 Cents Toys reached out to me and he's like, "Hey man, my local GameStop has that APC at like 75% discount." And he went into the store, they let him take it out of the box. And he was like, yeah, like that's the actual like no shit Hiya APC. And I'm like, dude, get it. Like I will PayPal you the money like time now. And
75% off. Yeah, that sounds like a typical GameStop dump for sure.
But then when it came, he sent me that. He sent me this play set and that play set and like this massive box of stuff. And the Mam and I just sat there. We did an unboxing. I just filmed it. I haven't done anything with it yet. And then I'm like, cool. Now I have no place to put this stuff. So you know how that
goes. You'll figure it out, buddy. I mean, that room is huge. You got there.
I generally don't like to talk price. I need that APC. How much was it? So if you guys go check your GameStops again, they're at deep discount if the GameStop has them in stock. That was $90. So if you know how much that originally cost, you know the discount I got on that. So
wow.
Yeah. I tend to not really talk about price because I think that it takes away from it. So anywho, let's move on. So you guys then moved on and you did Action Figure Adventure. This is season 2. So you have Jedi Luke, Black Star, he has Faker, and then he has whatever that shell head guy.
Slash.
Is that Slash?
Slash.
That's not Leatherback.
It's not Ugly Turtle. It's Slash.
It's me, Leatherface. All right, so Action Figure Adventure season 2. A little different from season 1 because it was during the pandemic and you guys only had a very short window of time to like travel and film in places that you were allowed to go, correct?
Yeah, yeah. And we were gonna go West Coast Canada or East Coast, and we chose the East Coast.
Yep. Which
Um,
worked out.
Beautiful out there. First time I've ever been that far east, and we had a week to shoot, and we did, and it was scary. It was scary. We were all very nervous. For me, like this pandemic that just happened is literally the worst thing you probably could have done because I'm like a hypochondriac and a germaphobe and all this stuff. So it was literally the scariest time. Rob was afraid he would catch something and give it to his kids. The crew was terrified. We were going to get
And you're like a
something.
germaphobe, right?
Yeah. And we were sleeping in hotels and we were scared, man. We were scared. We had to wear masks during the whole shooting and all that. It was, yeah. But we did it. I mean, Jinx said we won another one, so we did it. This again went to Children's Health Foundation. But the next one that we're doing now, we changed up the charity.
Right.
But this is
we're going to get to that one in a second. So
sure.
Action Figure Adventure Season 1, it was pretty much like, I don't want to say you guys against the world, but it was you guys out on a mission. Every store you would go in, you would like give them the spiel, like, this is what we're doing. We're trying to find, the 10 best items to raise this money for Children's Health Foundation. And Season 2, but obviously I'm leading you, right? Because we both know the answer. Would you say that your message was out there a little more by the time you did Season 2?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. We would go into the stores and a lot of people, oh yeah, we know who you are. And the haggling wasn't even really there because the store owners were so generous. They knew what we were doing. They knew the charity aspect. And so most times before I even started to haggle, boom, discount right off the bat. So for all of those people out there saying, I paid retail, I never paid retail for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
No, because that doesn't make sense. There would be nothing to give to charity. So,
yep. And if all you guys hanging out watching have not seen Action Figure Adventure, please watch Season 1, but definitely catch Season 2 because you can see that, the message got bigger and the love got bigger. It especially the giant robot toys episode is amazing.
yeah.
The one with Craig is out of this world. And then what happened with Big Bad Toy Store?
Big Bad Toy Store offered to donate like pallets of toys. I mean, pallets,
Like
of toys.
7-foot tall pallets of toys.
Absolute insanity. They've been so great to us. They carried our DVDs and Blu-rays when we were selling them. And because the pandemic, the borders were closed. So even if we wanted to, we couldn't get across there. So our good buddy Motu Joe, Justice Curry, our friend Pixel Dan, they all gathered in Michigan to film and unbox the pallets from Big Bad Toy Store. And Joe, Justice, and Pixel Dan took it upon themselves to get rid of the stuff. And all of that all went to charity.
Den of Geek wants that Cobra themed flag that you guys raffled off with Craig.
Yeah, Craig did such a great job. And Chad, you would appreciate that since you're such a customizer yourself. My first thought was, oh my God, you can't butcher a flag. But he's like, it's okay. It's only like 70%. A lot of the main parts aren't there. So I wasn't as worried. But yeah, he made this beautiful Cobra USS flag that makes the air, the Super 7 Cobra Air thingy.
Oh yeah, the mothership
makes it look like garbage, right? This one's just beautiful.
HasLab pricing at reaction quality, right? Michael Prue is saying, awesome job. I've been having nightmares, but thanks, guys. Love. What have you been having nightmares about? Are you all right? You doing okay? So, Action Figure Adventure Season 2. Awesome stores, great locations, a lot of interesting people. There's some places that you guys go that are very interesting, but it's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, and we actually, for the first time with the toy stuff, went into a couple stores that didn't have anything, which I got to tell you guys is
Yeah.
so awkward.
Yeah.
So awkward because, especially with season 2, they knew we were coming. So a lot of times they'll bring out the best stuff,
And
right?
they're relying on you at that point because of what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. And we went into one store in particular and there was nothing there. Now I happened to find something for myself for my comic book collection, which was great. But I felt bad because we walked in and they just had a little tray and there was like one Flash Gordon 3.75-inch figure, and I think Endor Han from Kenner Star Wars. I'm just like, it's not even close, right?
That store was a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very like game hangouty, like board games, video games, that kind of thing. It was a great store, just not what we needed.
Yeah.
So it was really awkward to kind of leave there without anything. And again, we want all the stores to look great, right? So
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Rob did a good job with that.
Yeah, absolutely. James Lucas says Justice Curry is another amazing guy in the Joe community. He absolutely is, and I blame him for my septic tank problem. Justice he got a big collection in that he was selling off, and he and I were talking, and I was like, "Do you have a septic tank?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got 2." And I was like, "Cool, let me buy one." Okie doke. And then the next day, as sometimes happens, right? He's like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I already had messages from 2 people claiming both of them, and I'd only seen one." And I'm like, "That's cool, brother. Like,
Oh yeah,
I get it,
yeah.
Like, I totally get it. I always appreciate you. No big deal." So then, because I couldn't get the septic tank, and out of the 50 some odd HISS tanks I have, I never had an original septic tank. I only have the one that's based off the DTC HISS tank. So then I was like, well, now I need a freaking septic tank, and M. Vargo found one for me, and Masterversal Toy Hunter found one for me, like, in New Zealand. So he
Whoa.
sent me one across the world, and then Embargo sent me one too. So then I went from no septic tanks because of the thing with Justice Curry to having 2. So whatever.
I mean, that's a good problem to have. That's
Yeah.
funny how things work out like that. That's a good story.
Yeah, and then Denny Geek says, "Jay, we need to get you out west for season 3. Lots of hidden gems here." Is that Western Canada?
Yeah, he's far west. So I'm kind of central east. Den's way far west, but we went far east. I would love to. Again, it's all if it makes sense with what's going on. So
Remember that store here in Albuquerque that I sent you all those videos and pictures of, like, the Boxed Castle Alliance, the Boxed Empire AT-AT, the Boxed Empire Millennium Falcon? Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
That
you
store
got some
here
good
is
stuff. You got some
absurd.
good stuff there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's all, like, way up at the ceiling, so it's, like, the rare stuff, like,
That's
don't
the high
touch it.
end. Yeah.
Don't touch it, yeah.
5'7" guys like me, we're not getting anywhere near that, right? We
But
gotta
they
get
have,
the
like, the Guns of Navarone playset sealed.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like
Beautiful. Yeah.
Castle Alliance, Snake Mountain, all that stuff, original packaging, like, it's out of control, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
good.
cool. So Action Figure Adventure Season 2, and this just came out on Blu-ray and DVD not that long ago.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm gonna raise my hand and say, actually, I never got my signed cover. Whatever.
Well, we'll fix that up in December.
Yeah, we'll fix that up. That's not a big deal.
I'll fix it right
But,
up.
that being said, Rob and Tater did hand deliver my Blu-ray, so I didn't feel bad about it.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
And now we're gonna move on to this. So I know a couple of people have been asking about, like, your new project and what's going on, and Nintendo Quest 2, but it's actually called Nintendo 64 Quest. So whatever you can talk about to everyone who's hanging out with us, please, by all means.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of shooting this right now. This is our sequel to Nintendo Quest, and it felt right. We felt like it was the right time to do it. And the Nintendo 64 is such an important console in video game history for all the reasons you guys know. Is it better than Super Nintendo? That's not the point. The point is this console, the age we were at, what those games meant, what Rare meant as a company in particular, and the couch co-op, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Was the last time any of that stuff happened in the video game space. And it was so important for the culture of video games that you couldn't argue that the 64 had to be done next. It had to. Night, George.
Yeah.
So we chose to do it. And that doesn't mean we're not going to do Super Nintendo. Doesn't mean we're not going to do Genesis, whatever. Again, if it makes sense at the time. It took us, almost 10 years to finally decide on what we wanted to do next with gaming. And this is it.
And how many games are there for the 64?
Just shy of 300.
Oof.
However,
North American releases.
Yeah. However, a good 15 of them are Blockbuster exclusives. What that means is Nintendo, along with the third-party developers, whoever developed the game, had a specific deal with Blockbuster because Blockbuster was so big that you can only rent these games from Blockbuster. So they were never for sale unless it was a dump. So if Blockbuster rented them so many times and then they could sell them as used if you happen to get them. But they're so rare. So there's that challenge.
So it's significantly less than Nintendo Quest then, as far as number of games.
It's significantly less. Yeah, absolutely. Number wise, but rarity wise, man. It's something else. Plus the retro video game market since the pandemic. Well,
it is not what it was in 2013.
And everything, new toys, Hasbro, Mattel, everything.
Yeah.
So, we'll leave it at that for now.
So, I know you guys have filmed some, like you've started filming.
Yep, we've shot 5 days on the road, which we tried to share as much as we could without giving anything away.
Right.
5 days. This one is different because the library is cut in half. My time is also cut in half, so I only have 14 days.
Ooh.
So what that means is, if I decide to pick a day to shoot, that counts as a day. So it doesn't mean we started at Monday on the 2nd and have 14 days from there. No, I have 14 shooting days where we can go out, and we've used five of them.
Are you trying to be a little more systematic about it this time? Because now if you can pick the days, it's not just like you have 30 days from today, like get it done. Are you trying to be a little more strategic about like, I know I want to go to that store?
Well, if I may be honest, it's Rob and I are both in different places now. Rob has kids.
Yep.
There's relationships now, and our days of jumping in a van and going to Vegas and going to California and hanging out in Texas for a week. I mean, I don't want to say those are gone, but it's different now.
Sure.
So that's just we wanted to go locally at first because we wanted to come home at night. That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
And because we're old men now, we both don't like to drive in the winter. Right. So unless there's something special that comes up between now and spring, we're not going to be shooting anything until the spring. So
gotcha. And since it's winter right now, so
yeah. This is also different where the charity, we've switched to the Alzheimer's Society as I lost my mom to Alzheimer's and dementia during the pandemic. So I switched the charity because children's health is important, but this is directly affecting me. So that's what the charity is for this one.
Yeah. My grandmother too. So I feel you.
It's horrible. The most horrible disease I've ever come across. And I've seen a number of different people suffer from many different things. Alzheimer's is by far the most cruel.
Yeah. Well,
on a positive note, not to bring everyone down here, You guys you're gonna love this. It's a Nintendo Quest times 10, and it's everything that made action figure adventure great. So it's really, like I said, and I've told people this all the time, when I merged video game content with my toy content on my YouTube channel, video games are toys. It's the same thing. It's just a way that we can play with these toys and not feel stupid, right? I mean, I think that's one reason Grand Theft Auto is so popular, because it's a big playground.
Yeah.
Like Ghost
Sandbox.
Recon
That's why they
today.
call them sandbox games, right?
Exactly. Had a blast playing that today. It's just like playing with Joe's, man. Same thing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you take your dollies in the sandbox and same thing, right? It's just digital dollies in the sandbox.
Digital dollies in the sandbox. All it is, buddy.
Dollies. Here we
Digital
go.
dollies.
Viper Scout says, I got my N64 for Robotech Crystal Dreams, but then it never came out on the back of the console box too. Ouch.
Crystal Dynamics, I think, or was it Crystal Dreams? Matt Rubin and I were talking about this the other day, because there was a Robotech game that came out on GameCube, PS2, and Xbox by Crystal Dynamics. I can't remember. Matt knows the history of that better than I do. Oh, there, he said it down here. Viper Scout. I was so bummed out that Crystal Dreams never came out. So that one never came out, but we got another one. But anyway, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and then David Andrews says, sounds cool about Nintendo 64.
Oh, David, thank you so much. Thank you.
And then Will R says, imagine a GTA style G.I. Joe game. Well, that's funny, Jay. Weren't we kind of playing one today?
Yeah, Chad, TJ, and our good buddy Zero introduced me to a game called Ghost Recon Wildlands, which I know of the game, but I've never played it. And I was shocked at how fun it was. Big open world game, create your own guy. And Chad's is very much modeled after Beachhead.
Yep.
It looks just like him. It's great. It is an open world G.I. Joe game. 100%.
Yeah. I love those sandbox games. You know, like, you want to do a mission? Sure. You want to just go blow everything up? Go for it.
Let's do that too. Yep. Do you want to watch Jay take a Lamborghini and drive it off the road? Yep. Let's do that too.
So we're trying to like be all tactical, invading this base for a mission, and like TJ's over here like taking out the snipers, and I got out my binos and I'm spotting snipers for him, and I'm like, on the right, TJ, on the right, and he's like, oh, okay, and I'm like, he's coming around right now, like, get him, like, I marked him for you, okay, and like we're being all tactical and we're communicating. Jay steals a helicopter and takes off, and the SAM missiles target him, and I like the base is on alert, and I'm like, what's going on? And I put down my binos, and here's Jay.
I stole the helicopter in the middle of their base. Because I'm so like Grand Theft Auto, right? That's what you do in Grand Theft Auto, and you just play around with that. This game, it's you take a couple bullets and you're dead, so it's a little different.
Well, you guys, yeah.
But the big hero doesn't.
Well, first of all, I'm maxed out on that whole game, and secondly, I wear heavy body armor, so it
You're pretty much like God mode. Cheating. He's cheating.
That's not cheating. Plus, like, I'm me on that trigger, boy. You got to watch out.
Yeah.
V. Conley says, I play Wildlands and Breakpoint, and he's yelling at us. Well, that's cool, man. If you still play Wildlands, if you're on the Xbox, send me your gamer tag on Instagram, and we will get down. Jim Largo says, video killed the radio star. So says the Buggles. But video games didn't kill action figures, just changed playtime. Digital dollies, you heard it here first.
Yeah, as far as us getting on our hands and knees and acting like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, we can't do that anymore. That's what video games allow us to do, right? That's what's so great about them. It allows us to play with them without feeling silly.
Yeah. David Andrews says, Chad is smart and he wears body armor, but I don't ever really wear a helmet. In the really real world, I would almost never wear my helmet. Mikey says, Wildlands, baby. I made about 40 Joes in that game. Do you still have it, Mikey? Let me know. Pendragon says, Chad eating a Brazilian steak in a shootout. I wear heavy body armor, so it wasn't a shootout, dude. Yeah. Blue Serendipity. How cool would it be for you all to do a live play of Wildlands with channel members?
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. Absolutely. I'm trying to get Chad to do more game streaming. He was starting to get into it, and then, well, just things come up or whatever. But it's tough. Trust me, it's tough to do toy content and game content. Oh my god, it's like 2 channels in one.
I did some game videos and I don't know. I guess it doesn't resonate. I would love to game with anybody. I love gaming. I love it.
Yeah, that game's so fun. That
Yeah.
game's so fun. Yeah, I mean,
Rob says I would watch it.
yeah, the silly things we say. Today was fun. We did a cool 2-hour session, and I'm jonesing to play it again, man. Like, I'm just like, I want to pop on the Xbox and play it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. So Nintendo Quest, you guys are gonna what? Pick that back up in the spring, kind of a thing.
I think so. We might do a couple days here and there locally, maybe. But again, we don't want to drive on the ice highways. We're too. We don't like that stuff anymore, right? So I'd much rather go when it's nice weather, and I think Rob agrees. So, but it should be Rob's thinking this time next year. It should be done.
Yeah. And then Mikey says he still has Wildlands, but on PlayStation. I mean, which is rad. I don't have a PlayStation. I'm sorry. Pendragon says I always enjoy watching Jay gamification. Manfred. I was trying to describe it to a noob the other day. They didn't get it, but I do. Freaking noob.
Jay
Game.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Do you remember that movie Fish Called Wanda? Right? It's got like half the Monty Python and
Yep.
And then Kevin Kline's standing there and he's talking to John Cleese's wife and he's like, Manfred when he tells her his last name. I always say that.
Sounds like the way that I would say something I couldn't pronounce. There was a lot of that today, trying to read text, and it was just I read like at a second grade level. What can I say?
Matt Rubin says, not everybody views games as playing with toys. Most do one or the other. Most of Chad's audience probably veers more towards the toys than the games. I would say that's probably a safe assessment. Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can see both sides of that.
And a lot of people weird out when I tell them I'm a gamer. Like Jay, when you and I first started talking about gaming, I was like, I game all the time. Like I have like every freaking system there is. And you were like, really? I was like, yeah, I always game.
For me, it was just, and I've talked about this to death, but I'll say it again in front of the audience here. Like I started off my channel just as toys. And then when I merged the game stuff last October, everyone was kind of like, oh, you don't like toys anymore. It was also kind of going along with the high prices. And I was, talking about that a lot. Nothing could be further from the truth, man. I just always saw them as one and the same. So I thought the first thing I did in my career was Nintendo
Quest. Yeah.
Right. So let's just add both. And now that I've been game streaming for a year, it's such a blast. I love it. I love doing it.
Yeah, and that's what I never understood. Mo says I watch both toy and gaming YouTube streams. There you go.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I could never understand when people are like, "Oh, Jay doesn't do toy stuff anymore." Oh, Jay, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, he's like the friggin' Nintendo Quest guy, right? Like,
well,
the action figure adventure guy is the Nintendo Quest guy. They're the same dude.
Nope, you can only like one thing, Chad. You got to have your channel that you just do one thing and that's it.
But I never understood why people gave you that Harvey Dent treatment, like. Harvey, what have you done with Scary Face?
That was like at first last October, but it's fine now. But
well, it's still bullshit. So Mython says I probably veer more toward toys. When I game, I love Forza on Xbox. I don't really like shooters or character games. I like to speed.
Yeah, baby.
That's cool, man. But in Wildlands, Jay got to speed around a corner in a Lamborghini and flip it and ruin the mission. As I was on Overwatch right above him in a gunship.
I had to steal somebody's, like one of these big drug kingpin or whatever, to steal their car and take it back to a checkpoint. And I had our buddy Zero in the car and I flipped it into a river. What can I say? Yeah, I look, I played the game 5 minutes before we went live. I never played it before.
Yeah. And everybody's like, geez, Jay, get better, actually. Here's a question before we wrap up for the night. Will, okay, guys, favorite game ever and can only pick one.
Oh, that's easy.
Go.
World of Warcraft, hands down. Hands down. Best game ever created. There you go. For me.
Pass.
Pass.
I don't.
Oh, come on.
But I'm so simple. I don't know.
To you, what you love. There's no don't give a technical answer.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda. No, just what
I'm
you
not gonna
would
do that.
say.
You know me.
What you would say.
I'll stand my ground with anybody. Packers says ET on Atari, baby.
Well, Packers, you win.
Run from them agents. Packers, did you see my video where I cruised by the landfill and I tried to go in there and they turned me away? It was a great video.
At the same time, I was streaming Atari ET. What are the odds of that? That's still an amazing day.
So Matt Noon and Samuel Edwards both say Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, absolute Tecmo were kings for a while.
There's been so many great games. Like a lot of the games that I think back to are games that people don't really remember. Like there was some, I don't even remember what it was called. It was like something Nightmare, and it was on the original PlayStation. And
Nightmare Creatures?
It might be.
Hmm.
About the whole like Mr. Crowley thing.
Okay.
Was that Nightmare Creatures?
Maybe.
I don't remember. And then there was one ninja game, and it was like revolutionary because it was open world and you can run around on rooftops and you could be the male or the female.
It's a Tenchu, maybe?
Tenchu, stealth assassin. Yeah, I love Tenchu.
This is great.
I would probably see V Conley. I think he stole my answer. It's either going to be Wildlands or it's going to be
Knights. Yeah, Knights is phenomenal.
KOTOR's freaking good. You know what? But here's another great game, and I just got that new Metal Gear collection.
The trilogy, yeah. You can't lose with that. World of Warcraft for me, I had to stop playing World of Warcraft because I didn't play anything else. And I played World of Warcraft since 2003 till just after the pandemic. I had to stop.
Mython is asking you Horde or Alliance?
For the Horde. 100%.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but since he asked, whatever.
It's the good guys or the bad guys you pick in the game.
Packers is laughing at me for some reason. Backwood says Mario 3. And I think you gave me shit about this before. Didn't you say it was a hipster choice because I like Mario 2?
Did I say that?
I think you did. Because I said Mario 2 is my favorite. Something about pulling the radishes out of the ground. I just love it.
That's Mario 2. Yeah.
I love Mario 2.
Mario 3 is great, and what it did for the history of video games is still hasn't been matched. With that and the Wizard, them showing it in the Wizard for the first time and all that.
Yeah.
But this is just my opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. Whoever said Mario 3, Backwoods, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, for me, I think that there's better Mario games that have come since Mario 3. Mario 3 is still amazing. But
Backwoods also loves Marble Madness.
There you go. The old trackball game.
You know what I will never get tired of? And it has to be in the stand-up. Dig Dug or Tron. There's something about when you start that Tron game with that I love that. Everything about it, the way the cabinet lights up. There's just something, or that old vector graphic Star Wars, where you just attack the Death Star over.
It was all about the presentation, right? Like the cabinet art, the way the cabinets lit up, the sound effects. It wasn't just about the game. It was about the whole presentation.
Yeah. And then Denna Geek loves Sam and Max. Viper Scout said PS4 Spider-Man is my current favorite besides G.I. Joe Blackout. Do you like G.I. Joe Blackout? I didn't really have too much beef with that game. I mean, for what it was, I like the Easter eggs in that game. Backwoods says F-Zero. And look at this, Bear 11 Charlie, Halo Reach. Dude, the end of that game is rough.
Yeah.
Rough. Yeah. And then Pendragon says, Tron, dude. Yeah. Dig Dug. EA Sports. I never got into sports games. EA Sports NHL franchise. I've had that game every year since 92.
Dig, Doug. Do it, Doug.
Do it, Doug. Do it, Dig Doug. Dig it, Doug. Yeah. Oh, that was another great game. Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where you whip the brilliant thing about that game is you have to launch a cow at the beginning, and you're like, I don't know why I have to whip this cow, but it says to do it, right? So you pull your head out and go whoosh.
You find out at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Lands on her.
So cool.
Yeah, everything about Earthworm Jim, like, we all thought Sonic was cool back in the day because when you wouldn't move, he would do that little sassy thing where he would tap his foot and stare at you, and you're like, look at how hip and look at how much attitude Sonic has. And then comes Earthworm Jim, and he's just like out of control.
Mario just stands there, doesn't do anything, but Sonic taps his foot. He doesn't have time to wait around.
What about this?
Yeah, Contra's amazing. Yeah, when I look at the greatest game or what I would want to play, those simpler games are fantastic. But would it keep you busy forever? Maybe it would. I don't know.
I think a lot of the things with these games is also, to tie it back into, like you're saying, like they're digital dollies. It's the same kind of it brings back those memories and the emotions. Yep. When we talk about Contra, I remember the home that we lived in. We had like that Spanish brick floor back in Florida.
Yep.
And I had Contra on my NES, and I remember sitting there just playing Contra all the time. Like I was a friggin' master of that game. And I remember that was one of the last Christmases I spent with my father's mother, my paternal grandmother, playing Contra. And she was just having fun being in the room with me, watching me play Contra. And like Resident Evil, like Will says, Resident Evil. I remember the first time I played Resident Evil with my girlfriend, turned off the lights, big mistake. The dog jumped through the window, and I was done.
Terrifying
just
game.
Done when the dog came through the window. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, realistically, there's no right or wrong answer, right? Again, it's exactly like toys where it's like you have the connection with the game. It doesn't matter like what the critics or reviewers gave it back in the day or now. It doesn't matter, man. Contra is that to you, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, totally. Remember the Contra code? Yeah.
Of course.
Who doesn't? Yeah, absolutely. And then Matt Noon says, Jay, no, it doesn't. I got so bored after 5 hours or so. So not forever. I mean, hey, that's cool. That's rad.
And then you can challenge yourself and not put in the 30-man code and beat it with 3 men. I don't know if I ever did that. That's a challenge for sure.
No way. I love Russian Attack. Remember how I always bring up Russian Attack? I always bring up Russian Attack. And then some people are like, what? And I'm like, you never played Russian Attack?
It's like the baby, little baby brother of Contra.
Russian Attack is rad.
Yeah.
That's a rad game.
And then Jackal's like their third cousin removed.
Yeah. See, look, Matthew Matson. I loved Russian Attack. I still play Russian Attack all the time. Great game.
It's good stuff, man.
Well, Mr. Bartlett,
it's all good stuff.
What do you got coming up?
Oh, well, I stream here on YouTube Thursday through Sunday. And if you guys want to check out gaming and toy content, check out my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Jay Bartlett. Simple as that. I would really love to see you guys over there. And I'm with, of course, Chad every Friday night for the live toy show that we call Friday Night Versus. We're coming back this Friday after a little break with Transformers 1986. So make sure you guys check it out. Man. Robots ate my lunch.
It'll be fun. And for everybody who's still hanging out with us, thank you guys for hanging out with me and Jay tonight and just talking dollies and games and whatever. We're all in it for the love of whatever we like. But if you guys haven't seen Jay's documentaries, please go find them. They're all on Tubi or Amazon or Vimeo, and they're freaking awesome. And you can watch them over and over and over and over.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
Jay, thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday night and just shooting the breeze, man. Just talking dollies.
Hey, I'm honored to be on your show, man. You've had some legendary guests, so I feel honored to get the invitation and looking forward to Friday night again, buddy, for sure.
Yeah. Masterson says pin all those channels at the bottom. All of Jay's stuff is in the description of the video, all of it. So you can find it all by all means. And then just go to Tubi or Amazon and then just type in Nintendo Quest and Action Figure Adventure and it'll all come up. So, yeah. Rad.
Yeah.
Well,
and I just want to say thanks to everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate all you guys on Chad's channel, of course, and my channel as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Some really, really, really fantastic people. And
agreed.
All you guys in the chat are the ones that make it fun. So thank you all so much. And Jay, you're going to sign us out, buddy. So have at it.
What did Rob and I used to say? For the love of toys and the warmth of scarves, you guys have yourself a great night and take care of yourself and each other. Jerry Springer ripoff.
Yeah. And have an awesome day.